The quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident. More than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
Dennis here from Weiss Johnson, along with my brother Mark.
Hi there.
My bro is the go-to for all our tough installs.
I do all the hard work. He gets all the glory. Mister, I'm on the radio.
Hey, we can't all be famous, but seriously, Mark's the best, and he's here if you're looking to add a legal basement suite in your home.
We install tons of furnace systems for folks wanting basement suites. It helps to subsidize their mortgages.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Obviously.
Weiss Johnson, your legal suite heating system experts.
Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Your next great family adventure is just a raffle ticket away. Enter the Alberta Foster and Kinship Association's Great Family Adventure Raffle for your chance to win incredible prizes, including the first prize, a Sea-Doo pontoon cruise boat worth over $70,000. Every ticket sold helps provide vital resources to the everyday heroes raising children through some of life's hardest circumstances. Buy your tickets before the live draw on June 5th. Get yours at rafflebox.ca/raffle/the Great Family Adventure Raffle. License number 766115. Open to Alberta residents 18+ only.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440. Sports 1440. A Stingray radio station. CKJR. Broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray Music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
I want the offensive rebound by Reeves. First time here, down to 2. Mark to the lead. Second left. Oh, Mark puts Texas in front. What a shot. Go, baby. Actually going to go Mark this way. He's clutch.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Themselves. Here's a drive to center field off of the bat of Abreu. Well, you're Abreu. Hits it up.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Wheels it up the right-hand side. Henrique and Frederick digging down low. Henrique shoots and a save. Rebound. Jones. Henrique gains the lead 4-3. Jones' second goal as an Oiler this year.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Saul 627, Wednesday, March the 18th, LWOL, Life Without Leon. No Leon Draisaitl for the Oilers for, well, at least a month. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial on your morning drive into work or wherever you're heading out on a wicked Wednesday morning. So glad you could spend some time with us here on Sports 1440. You can also watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Please drop us a like and a subscription. We would really appreciate that. We're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. So pretty near everywhere. As always, we're streaming on iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, even on sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of the show, you can catch up by searching it. It's wherever all the podcasts hang out, on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Please subscribe. That's free too. Select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of the show. Yeah, good morning. Thanks a lot for coming along for the ride here on a Wednesday morning. Text line is 833-401-1440. Get them in. We'll get them on. And we'll talk about the Oilers here and their big win over the San Jose Sharks last night. 5-3. The game was really, well, it was in question until the third period when the Oilers broke away with a good third period after a very poor second period where the Sharks got back in the game and were by far the better team in the second period. But the Oilers regroup in the third, come out with 2 big goals and win it by a score of 5-3 to move 7 points ahead of San Jose in the Pacific Division. So very important. The Sharks have the games in hand. But the Oilers are also now 1 point ahead of Vegas in the Pacific because Buffalo went into Vegas last night and shut out the Golden Knights 2-0. UPL was phenomenal in the cage for the Sabres. The Oilers are also tied with Anaheim with 77 points to lead the Pacific Division. The Ducks do have the 2 games in hand. Now, pretty well every player on the team pulled on the rope harder last night because of the absence of Leon Draisaitl, which was announced around 12 o'clock or so, and really took Oilers Nation, I'm not saying by surprise, and put Oilers Nation into shock is what it was, but he's going to be gone at least a month. And you know how they word things, the end of the regular season, but let's call a spade a shovel here, and we will see how they readdress things, as the Oilers say, in a month. But, it is obviously a lower body, what they say. Most people think it would be a knee. Some people think it could be like a ligament. Some people think it's meniscus. You're not going to get a straight story from anyone, so the speculation will continue to go on here for a number of weeks. The fourth line really was impressive last night. He, when you look at how Chris Knoblock assembled the lines last night and had that fourth line together, and the way they played was a big part of the reason the Oilers won. They really generated the 2 goals, the game winner by Max Jones. Then the other thing, too, is that, the goal by Podkolzin's generated by the fourth line basically as well, with Frederick and Henrique. Now, Adam Henrique, if he plays like that, if he plays like he did last night, he will be a major contributor come playoff time. He had 2 assists, but 13 players on the Oilers roster had points last night. Max Jones in limited duty, played under 7 minutes, but was in on the forecheck. There's something there. There's something there. He's played in the NHL long enough, and he's a big enough body that he is a really good fourth-line player, and he's left people wanting more and looking for more. Last night, he gave it to you, and he scored a massive goal, but he was in on the forecheck. And Trent Frederick was in on the forecheck. Frederick didn't hit the score sheet, played about the same amount of time as Max Jones, but those 2 guys were so instrumental in the win. And can't forget Connor Ingram. And again, nothing spectacular, just very, very steady. He did have 2 big saves late in the second period when the score was tied 3-3. And I mean, San Jose was pushing. San Jose was all over the Oilers in that second period. They were better. They were quicker. They were faster. The Oilers stopped skating. They stopped playing. And the Sharks could have had the goal to give them the lead in that second period. But Connor Ingram, full marks, 27 saves, full marks to see exactly how he was a big part of the Oilers' win last night. Power play last night was just 1 for 4. The late one was like more of a run out the clock kind of thing. So a lot of people were interested to see exactly how that power play was going to look. So when you think of the makeup to start, Matt Savoy came out, and he was, taking Leon Draisaitl's place on the first unit. Not his place on the ice, but his place on the first unit. And basically there was a flip-flop, a switch, where Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was where Leon's spot was, on that flank on the off wing, and Matt Savoy was on the other side. The one thing, there was a whistle on that first power play about halfway through. Jack Roslovic came out. So he came out and replaced Matt Savoy. But man, when that first goal went in, the whole building looked at each other and went, what do you mean? Do we need Leon Draisaitl? Of course you need Leon Draisaitl. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scored a Leon-esque goal, perfectly placed to just past sliding Nedeljkovic, who got across quick, but it was perfectly placed on a one-timer. And to be honest, that goal was scored a little higher and a little higher, not where Leon is, down lower. So full marks to Nugent-Hopkins for that power play goal. His 18th of the year. I believe he's 1 point back of 800. So he'll become the 7th player in Edmonton Oilers history to reach the 800-point plateau. We mentioned Buffalo beating Vegas last night. Tampa Bay went into Seattle and won 6-2. Kucherov had 3 goals, 2 assists, so he had a big night. He's right on the heels of Connor McDavid when it comes to the scoring race now. Connor had the 1 assist last night. He's got 115 points. Kucherov's at 11, I believe, after a massive night. So Kucherov and the Lightning will be here on Saturday. Florida goes into Vancouver and loses to the Canucks. The season's over for the Panthers, and they will be here tomorrow night. So also last night, I mean, the World Baseball Classic was a classic, and it was a classic in the sense that these countries that really give you know what, that's what made the tournament. If the Americans cared about half as much as all these other countries, the Americans would probably be better and win this tournament because they have more talent. They don't care enough like these other countries, in particular Venezuela. Winning last night by a score of 3-2, it would be the biggest moment by far in Venezuelan sports history. The passion, the emotion that you saw after the game with, grown men crying on the field. Absolutely amazing. And never mind the biggest moment in sports history in the country. It could be the biggest moment in the country's history. When you think about going back hundreds of years to when they had independence from Spain. And that was probably the biggest moment in the country's history. That's 200 years ago. So no one cares about that anymore. This could be something that maybe brings the country together with other things. Everyone talks about 1980 and the Miracle on Ice, how the American collegiate kids brought the country together. Well, I mean, with the disarray that's going on in Venezuela, maybe this is something that can do that in Venezuela. But, Mark DeRosa, manager, is going to be under fire for a long time for usage of players, knowledge of the tournament. I mean, Cal Raleigh hit 60 bombs last year, saw the pine for the last couple games, didn't play. You had Buxton and PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong. Who are they going to play? They go to Buxton. PCA comes in after. Gunnar Henderson and Bregman. There will be decisions that get talked about in this game with player usage moving forward for an awful long time. Hey, 7-11 in the morning. Text line 833-401-1440. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne. After a busy night on the couch, Duke said as he got in this morning that he almost had he had the two TVs going and then his phone. A triple header he had NCAA basketball. He wanted to keep tabs because he had some money riding on it.
Yeah.
If you didn't have the money riding on it, Duke.
Well, it's March Madness, Kev. I get it's the first four, but it's still, you get kind of swept up in it. And you weren't disappointed if you watched both of the games last night. Second of the two between Texas and NC State was a little bit of a lower scoring affair than I think most people anticipated. Lots of misses in that one. But both games came down to the final possession, right? The winning shot in the Texas-NC State game came with 1 second left on the clock. That is what you live for when it comes to the NCAA tournament. So there's 2 more games tonight. More hockey games on, of course. Curling continues down in Calgary, which was my conclusion to the night, actually. Canada and Switzerland at the Women's World. So it's great. I'm reveling in it all. And then you factor in the full NBA slate and a 9-game NHL window, which started at 5:00, so you catch some of those games before the baseball, the basketball, and the Oilers, of course, get going. It was nonstop for me from about 4:30 on.
Boy, Duke. Well, you need this after your big weekend.
I needed it bad. So I normally on Tuesday nights I go and skate 10 the net with the pads on down at Nate with a group of Andrew Walker's friends and co-workers and the likes.
More games.
Well, yeah, the Walker needs to play more games. He was, of course, in here doing pre and post, but coming off the weekend where my knees were not feeling very good, I banged my ankle up on a block shot. I messaged the guys yesterday morning and said, hey, if you can find another goalie, I might take tonight off. And I'm glad I did because I would have missed out on a lot of this in real time. And I think my body's thankful for it this morning as well, because sitting on the couch a little more relaxing than getting up and down off my...
The Tropicana Orangeman season over.
The Tropic season, we start playoffs next weekend, Sunday night, first playoff game. So it's as long as we take it now at this point.
So you're done in a week.
No, Kev, come on now. We've went to the South Finals 2 straight years. Just can't get over that final hurdle to play for the division championship. But this year, I think we got the right squad. So we'll be playing well into April.
What do you think of the WBC game? I mean,
yeah, it's such drama, right? And The Venezuelan pitching staff was excellent all night. 7 innings of scoreless ball. And I'll be honest, when Bryce Harper hit the home run in the bottom of the 8th, you couldn't help but think that maybe that turned the worm a little bit and the U.S. may be able to pull this off. But what a response by the Venezuelans with the double. Eugenio Suarez lobs it out there into the gap in left center field to score the eventual winning run, right? And then the 9th was more of the first 7 innings where the pitching staff just completely snuffed out. And man, I know you're a Yankees guy, Kevin. Nobody can deny the abilities of Aaron Judge and what he's capable of on a baseball field. But when the games seem to mean the most is when he, for the most part, seems to shrivel up a little bit. And this tournament was really no exception to that.
Schwarber wasn't very good either.
No.
I mean, their whole...
It was 7 innings of scoreless ball. They only had a couple of hits up to that point.
The funniest thing here, Duke, no one even knew who the hell Erod was last night, unless you're really into baseball.
Right.
This is a guy that was in Detroit, had a decent season, okay season, signs a big ticket in Arizona, goes to Arizona. Excuse me. Last year, his ERA's over 5, his whip's over 150. But you put the flag on your chest and things change. Yep. And that's exactly what happened with a guy like that. So full marks to Venezuela. And again, the passion, the emotion, and everything.
Oh, so great. And like you see the post-game interview with Suarez, the tears running down his face. I saw a clip this morning. I'd missed it last night because as soon as the baseball game was over, I've got 4 other things to tune into, so I didn't see much of the post-game stuff. But a clip that even Palencia, like before he delivers the game-winning pitch, he's got tears running down his face. It's just super special, and you feel great. And listen, in the place where we as a nation, Canada, have kind of been on the other end of the stick from the United States quite a bit recently here in the Olympics and whatnot. Yeah, it's kind of felt a little bit extra nice to see them lose a sport that is supposed to mean the most to them, right? It's America's pastime. So not being the best in the world at that, I'm not going to lie and say that it didn't give it a little extra meaning for me.
Do you think Trumper will invite the winners to the White House?
I doubt it. Although, if you were to ask him after
he was responsible
with his heroic efforts in Venezuela, of course, to liberate the country, then he would probably happily welcome them as the 52nd state. So
52 probably, I guess.
At this point, we're still 51 in his eyes.
Well, we're in the queue, Duke. That's how
we're line queued up.
Coming up on the big program, you heard him last night, pre and post game. Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. Our pre and post game host with Landon Ferraro, Donnie P. Mark Spector will check in at 8 bells. Spec was quite happy when I told him about the bottle of Irish whiskey that was left by him yesterday when we discussed Irish whiskey and everything else with the Ulsterman, Sean Kincaid. So that will be nicely consumed by Spec, he said. And he wants to get Sean's number to thank him. Hey, it's the 5A Provincial Basketball Championship in Edmonton this weekend. Starts tomorrow. Fallon Middlemiss, tournament chair, will be with us. This is the very best of basketball in our province. We talked about Delaney Gibb a fair bit on the program, Duke. I'm not, down in Raymond. Well, the best player on the Raymond team this year is her little sister, Pippa. She's in grade 10, Duke. She's in grade 10. This is phenomenal. David Schlimco will be by at 9 bells, the former NHLer and our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision. We've got Sadie Lungquist. It's the Women's Frozen Four getting underway, so we'll talk a little women's college hockey and how much the women's game has grown and things like that. Emma Lingan from the Hockey News and the Wraparound Podcast will check in at 10 o'clock. When we come back, Andrew Walker, our Sports 1440 pre- and post-game show, host on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors, Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top-quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, Watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Ever had a problem returning auto parts? At Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock, we do things differently. Hi, it's Lisa, and we're proud to offer one of the best return policies in the business. When you shop with us, you buy with confidence, knowing that if it doesn't fit or if it's not the right part, we'll make it right. For nearly 50 years, Ed's Auto Salvage has helped Alberta drivers save money, stay on the roads, and shop stress-free. Trust the team that stands behind every part we sell. Visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
If we win the $46,000 early bird, I'll be nicer.
Really?
Well, mostly.
All right, I'll take it.
You know what's nice? Tickets are only $30, and every ticket helps support kids through free mentorship and after-school programs. Don't miss out. The early bird deadline is March 19th at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Lottery license 745563 and 745562. Please play responsibly.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 7:21 in Edmonton, and time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And at Fountain Tire, we focus on one thing and one thing only, and it is your vehicle. From tires to wheels to oil changes and even vehicle repairs, we have you covered. Visit fountaintire.com to book your appointment today as we welcome in Andrew Walker, our pre- and post-game show host here on Sports 1440. Up and at 'em bright and early. Good morning, Walks. Thanks for jumping on as always, big fella.
Yeah, no worries. Good morning, fellas.
Hey, when's the last time we really talked about the bottom six of this team almost being like the main reason for a win?
Yeah, I was going to say in a non-derogatory sense, not long, but with 29 out, it's an all hands on deck situation, and they're going to need goals from different sources for sure. I think the bigger story with no Leon is a forced commitment to playing on both sides of the puck for sure, and I think we've seen that since the Olympic break, and now it's emphasized even further. But yeah, I mean, listen, to win some close games, you're going to need a couple of goals from not the big boys, and last night they were littered all over, right? Yeah, Henrique was involved, and obviously big goal from Max Jones, one of the biggest of the year.
Yeah, Henrique, if he plays like that, I said off the top, I mean, if he can play like that every game moving down the stretch here, he'll be a big contributor in the playoffs, and they need him. They need him like that. Maybe just speak to the resiliency of a guy like Max Jones, who's up and down, gets his second last night. It's the game winner. There's something there. I mean, he wouldn't be in the league this long or play this many games in the league this long if there wasn't something there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he comes out of the London program, right? And guys can get. I had this conversation the other day with someone, and it wasn't even about Max Jones. you know what? It was actually with, so if people are watching the draft this summer, it was with Chris Dingman. So Chris Dingman's kid, Sawyer, big boy, kind of, a bit like Max Jones, to be honest, a bit like his dad. And he should go in the draft this summer. Now I'm thinking anywhere from the 3rd or 5th round. You just can't ignore that size. But he plays on a very poor Swift Current team. And, it sucks getting your head caved in every night and missing the playoffs. And it's always been my thought that I think something like that for a player like that, it almost helps, right? Because you're playing on this team that, scouts don't care. Teams don't care whether your junior team wins or not, unless you're supposed to win. And then you look at leadership. But anyway, a guy like Max Jones, you come out of London, and man, everybody comes out of London. Pat Kane and John Carlson and, Kadri and Tavares and Mitch Marner and Max Domi, and you go down the list, right? They just turn out. And then once in a while, you can take a really good player from London. Why? Because he's just on a really good team. I don't know if Max Jones is overdrafted, but he was a first-round pick coming out of that program, and obviously the guy could play in the NHL, and guys that play with physicality are not a dime a dozen anymore, right? It today's generation, it takes a pretty special guy to play physical, and so I think he's learned that is what keeps him up in the league when he gets a chance. But you're always going to get an extra look or two if you're a former first round pick, and he hustles. And for him to come in and make an impact in his first little stint, only because of injuries and in a few months, and I know he scored a big goal earlier this year, it's great. And you get into the postseason, you just never know when you're going to get your chance, right? And we've seen the Peter Kleemans and the Pisani's and all kinds of stuff, guys like that over the Toby Peterson in 06 with a big goal against Anaheim, right? So, that you never know when your opportunity is going to come. And good on Max Jones. He was pretty excited last night and played a pretty rambunctious style, and that's what they need.
Well, you mentioned London. He played with Marner and Tkachuk, when they won the championship 10 years ago. So
in Red Deer, I believe.
This is a guy that was, as you said, maybe he was an overdraft because of a championship team, and maybe that's the case. But
well, you remember when the Oilers took Taylor Hall out of Windsor? That was a great team, right? Ryan Ellis, Cam Fowler, Taylor Hall, Adam Henrique was on that team. Philip Grubauer was the D. But the Leafs took a kid in the 2nd or 3rd round. I don't think he ever played a game. And then the Calgary Flames took Greg Nemej in the 1st round. Why? Because he played on that team. That was it, right? I know he was big and he had some numbers, but you can make a mistake if you get enamored with a guy playing in too good of a program. I mean, give me the guy that has to do everything on a team that's not so good, to be honest.
Well, and as you said, you mentioned Dinger's kid, and the opportunity that he has. And when you lose every night, the scouts go to watch players like that to see what their reaction is going to be. Are they quitting? Are they not? Are they trying to make something happen? And that's where you find the character of players, more so than when you're winning.
100%. Yeah. I think scouting is an inexact science, especially when you're scouting teenagers. There's a reason that, you take 6-7 guys in a draft, and boy, you're firing at a pretty good rate if you get 2 NHLers, right?
Andrew Walker with us on Sports 1440. What did you think of Josh Szymanski last night? There's only one little play in the second period where he had a little bobble, but they had the puck that line in the Sharks zone for quite a while. And it was funny. Szymanski, for most of it, was up near the blue line. I thought it was just an interesting shift. But overall thoughts on Szymanski here, Walks?
Yeah, I think that I like Szymanski. I think it's obviously a nice find. Their centers, they still confuse me a little bit. Dickinson, I think there is a better player in there than we've seen. I think that obviously, he was good after the fact, but the turnover on the first Sharks goal, it just, at this time of year, it can't happen. And there was a couple other plays earlier in the week where I was kind of like, come on, like Dickinson, you're a defense first center. You can't be making mistakes like that. And it's hard to expect perfection but he's going to get a lot of minutes. And in a perfect world, Szymanski is eased in as your fourth line center, but Henrique has been such a non-starter this year that all of a sudden, Szymanski is elevated a little bit more in the lineup. Great opportunity, but I don't love their center depth. I wonder if we, eventually see Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in the middle if Szymanski can't quite hack it. But we'll see. He's been okay, right? And they win last night and they win the other night. I think Szymanski's a nice little find. Whether it's too much too soon, remains to be seen. And yeah, I noticed that too at the top of the zone. And I think that at least the attitude's the right way. Like, he doesn't want to get caught deep, right? Below the circle. So he's floating high, and then the puck kind of came to him, and they had some great puck possession shifts. And at the same time, you can tell he's really trying to be on the right side of the puck, and that's fine. You don't need all your centermen to score. You're going to need some depth scoring for sure, but they got it last night.
I just thought on that one shift that you're talking about, Walks, is the fact that sometimes as a rookie, you're going, okay, I'm in the middle of no man's land up here. Maybe the smart play is just to dump it in the corner and, we'll live to fight a day and see what happens down there. But he was still trying to make something. It wasn't dangerous by any stretch, but he was still trying to make something happen up there. Do you like with Dickinson, when you mentioned that play, I'd say 99 times out of 100, he just dumps it in and changes. But sometimes you get romanticized of what's here on this team and how they always try to make plays, I think.
Yeah, no, that was such a rookie play, and it can't happen. And not only did he turn it over, but he turned it over while the D was changing. So they break only 2-on-1, and the only guy back is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who has no hope to do anything, and then they go backdoor to Orlov. I mean, that goal is just 100% on Dickinson. And listen, it's the last. I know in Dallas on the I think it was the 2-0 goal. He's back, but he doesn't take the backdoor stick.
It was on the Sam Steele goal, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice pass, but he's there. It's like I yell at the guys all the time in beer league. Yeah, it's great that you're back, but you better take someone when you're back. And then in the St. Louis game, Bergeron kind of reverses it in front of the net, and Dickinson's there, but he's just kind of standing there. As I think it was Pius Suter that threw it in. So there's been 3 times over the last week I've kind of yelling at my TV, "Come on, Dickinson!" So I know he's a good player. And I don't expect perfection, but in a big game like that is a rookie mistake 7 minutes in. Can't happen again. Can't happen.
You're starting to yell at me now, Walks, when we play together in beer league.
Where are you going?
Remember that one? Yeah, that first pass. Hey, the easy pass.
20 seconds into the game.
Pass.
Easy play, bud. Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, no one remembers that easy pass to you. They'll remember that 3-line stretch pass, to send someone in, right?
Oh, they'll remember those icings for sure.
Yes, exactly. Andrew Walker with us on Sports 1440. Matt Savoy continue. He's always in the fight. He's in the battle. He might not get a total body on a guy, and he might not get a total stick on a guy or a stick check where the puck is in complete control on a turnover, but he gets just enough, it seems, to keep the play going. He's continuing to get better and better every night here.
Awesome. What a story, hey? And it's been every fan base clamors for, like young guys, and we got to get younger, and we automatically like a guy because he's young, and he automatically deserves more ice time because he's young. And it's a tough spot for an organization to be in. And I've said for a long time, it's really hard to develop young players on a veteran team that has championship aspirations. It's taken Savoy, 50, 60 games. But he is, what a story. I mean, it's been a long time since the Oilers had a rookie, step in and all of a sudden become an integral part of this team and is, further to that, cost controlled and whatever. I right now I'm higher on Matt Savoy, and it's not a criticism. I think it's a great trade for both teams. I'm higher right now on Matt Savoy than I ever was on Ryan McLeod. He's just been playing great, and him and Podkolzin both. What does a coach ask? Just like be the same guy shift after shift and game after game, consistency, which is not easy to obtain. And Savoy is that every shift he's the same guy. And I'm still kind of debating what I want to see in the power play. I do think they need another shooter, and at the same time, I love Savoy's puck retrieval, which is such a key to this Oilers power play. It's one of the reasons they're so good is they're very rarely one and done, right? They get a chance, they go get the puck, they move it around again. And he's not necessarily a shooter, but man, he's dogged on the puck retrieval. I like him a lot. He factors into the scoring last night with another tip. I don't know if this guy will ever be a point per game guy, but he's certainly at that clip since the break. What a great story him and both Podkolzin have been.
Well, again, yeah, if you're getting 50 points out of a Matt Savoy, I think you're quite happy with it. The other thing, too, is that he has the ability to play anywhere on the wing in lines 1, 2, and 3, where, I mean, McLeod, without question, he's your third line center, and that's it. He's not going up to play wing anywhere on the top two lines here. So
right, and the skill set is somewhat limited in the sense he's like he'll kill penalties, but he's not going to play overly physical. And again, Buffalo is in the spot where they really needed some speed and some experience, and McLeod's obviously scored more and more ice time. But I love trades like that. Like we focus so much on winners and losers, and this team got fleeced or this team robbed them. It's like you make the trade because both teams want to make the trade. And in a perfect world, like if you go ask, it was Kevin Adams who made the trade, but you go ask the Sabres, you go ask the Oilers, hey, would you want to do over on that trade? Neither side would.
Probably
and that's
not.
what it should be.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, Walks, is there's no way the Oilers were going to be paying McLeod $5 million a year.
No,
never.
No, and they couldn't even if they wanted to, and that is that their own fault, sure. But yes, it worked out. It worked out perfectly.
We're going to be going in hopefully with the playoffs here with this team for Oiler fans watching this team into the playoffs with Connor Ingram as the starting goaltender. And if you were to say that at the beginning of the year, people would have said you were off your rocker. But again, another steady performance by Ingram last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how it's gone, right? You start with Skinner and Pickard, and Skinner kind of does what he does, and God love Pickard, but we all know what Calvin Pickard is. He wasn't looking like an NHL goalie. It'll be interesting at the end of the season to look back on all of this. Obviously, there's just no defending the Tristan Jarry trade at this point. I'm not one of those guys that yearns. I think all of a sudden, people are being a little hypocritical. It's like, Skinner wasn't that bad. It's like, no, Skinner was a dead entity here. Make no mistake. But they hitched their wagon to the wrong horse. And then, in that whole sequence, what was overlooked is the cheap pickup and thrown down to Bakersfield of Connor Ingram. And after all that settles, he manages to be the guy. It's like the end of Game of Thrones, where after all that, as Brandon would know, Bran ends up being the king. Like who knew, right? And here's Connor Ingram. How about that for analogy?
Yeah. Hey, what do you think tomorrow's game against Florida is going to be like? What do you think? What do you think that game is going to be like tomorrow against Florida?
Interesting, emotional, obviously, but like Florida stinks. But I would think that as much as it shouldn't be, because they have proven, they've gotten the best of the Oilers the last 2 years. If you're going to see the Panthers, go all out, it's going to be in that game.
This game for sure. If they don't win another game the rest of the year, Walks,
correct,
and they win this one, they go, well, at least we beat the Oilers in Edmonton and down the stretch.
Which is strange. Like I've always made the comment, like it's so weird with Calgary fans and media, and the organization. They care so much about the Oilers, and no one here really cares about the Flames anymore, right? Like if anything, it's a little weird because you find yourself kind of rooting for the Flames a little bit. They're this try hard team, and they're not tanking like the Canucks and the Leafs are. And I think the same thing is true with Florida. Like they beat the Oilers in back-to-back cups. Good on them. Last year especially, they were a better team. I think they got a little cocky and got a little lucky 2 years ago. And the Panthers still like the way they handled themselves in the summer, not Barkov, but everyone else, and the F. McDavid chants or whatever. It's just this weird obsession. And so I know the Panthers going to come in here and you say, hey, your last 14 games, Florida, you're going to lose 13 of them, but you'll beat the Oilers. They take it, which is ridiculous, but they would take it. So the Oilers, you can't look at the standings. You got to be ready because Florida is going to throw everything your way. And I will say this, It's been a up and down season minors wise for Max Jones. It's been obviously a rough go for Trent Frederick, although he's been better since the break. Darnell Nurse fans have gotten on him. Jake Wallman too. But a couple well-placed licks on a certain someone, and you can be a pretty big hero in this town.
Mm-hmm. Walks, good stuff. Hey, when's the next game for you, big fella? Today, obviously.
Oh, I'm gonna have a little casual skate this afternoon, and I'll probably be at your Thursday skate, I would imagine, unless I'm invited to play the other one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think tomorrow's alumni is sponsored one, so I don't know how it works.
Yes.
We'll figure out.
No, probably I'm there if I get the invite, but the scouts were saying I maybe was too good the other night.
No, they weren't.
I heard rumblings.
Yeah, you were probably listening to Dinger. That's what you were listening to.
Hey, Dinger hates everybody, and he's got a soft spot for me, so I'm doing something right. You know why? Because I pass him the puck.
That's all he cares about. If you pass him once a game, that's all he cares about. Thanks, Walks. Have a good one. Appreciate you coming on early, buddy. Andrew Walker, our pre- and post-game show host here on Sports 1440, and the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. Check out your vehicle, and they really care about it. That's all they care about. The focus is one thing. Book an appointment now at fountaintire.com. When we come back, we'll hear some post-game comments from last night. A plethora of Oilers were interviewed after the game. Conor Murphy, Max Jones was interviewed, Zach Hyman, Adam Henrique. So we'll hear from some of those players when we come back on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Oil Kings hockey takes to the ice at Rogers Place for the final regular season game this Sunday.
It's the Team Awards game. See who scores the hardware pregame for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, and more.
With all the family fun Sunday face painting, bouncy castles, and Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Plus a post-game autograph session.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Calgary Hitmen. Team Awards game, 4 p.m. Sunday.
The final home game this season at Rogers Place before playoff action kicks off, starting at $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweat Box.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Heard of Uline?
You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Sports 1440. All sports, all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:45 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440. The show is presented by Sports Select. It's so easy to play, too. Visit sportselect.com, generate the QR code, check the how to play videos for step-by-step guidance and instruction. Sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Just watching the tail end of the highlights again of the World Baseball Classic and Venezuela beating the United States 3-2. And man, the celebration will be on in Venezuela. And last night, you just see the tears streaming down so many of these Venezuelan players, and they shut down. They shut down the Americans, besides Bryce Harper, who had 2 hits, 3 hits in total for the entire game by the United States. Judge was non-existent, struck out 3 times. Schwarber struck out 3 times. The bottom of the order did nothing. Bryce Terang had the only hit from the bottom of the order, but nobody else had anything going for the United States. And full marks to Venezuela for winning. Gino Suarez had that game-winning double in the 9th inning after Harper tied it up in the 8th inning with a 2-run shot. But very emotional, cool to see. And you know what? We're a week away from Major League Baseball starting because things get underway next Wednesday with a game over in Japan. And then the Jays, March the 27th, first game of the year, next Friday. Oh, man, baseball season right around the corner. It crept up for sure. And, you know, the Americans, how about they walked into the ballpark wearing the United States jerseys, the American hockey jerseys. They were all sent them. And there you go, as Duke mentioned, so many people saying about how the Americans beating Canada in the Olympics, stealing hockey away, and now Venezuelan has stolen the national pastime away from the United States. Last night in the NHL, there were some critical games as well, as we talked about with Vegas and the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo goes into Vegas, beats the Golden Knights. UPL was phenomenal in goal. Also on the late slate, Tampa with 5 points from Kucherov. The Lightning beat the Kraken 6-2, but earlier on, critical win. The Columbus Blue Jackets blow out Carolina 5-1. Montreal beats Boston in overtime 3-2. The Islanders beat the Leafs 3-1. But the Nashville Predators go into Winnipeg and edge the Jets 4-3 in a shootout. That's a tough one. I mean, after a couple of wins for the Jets on the weekend, they're still in the picture here, but they got to start stringing. That's a game where you win that one in regulation. Now all of a sudden, the Predators are behind you. You're still looking at. I mean, they're 4 points back, the Jets, but they got to get 2-3 wins. 2-3 wins. String them together. Win 3, lose 1. Win 3, lose 1. Maybe you got a chance. Oilers won last night by a score of 5-3. Max Jones got the game winner in the third period, his second of the season for the Oilers. And following the game, he had these post-game comments.
Rely on each other to be in the spots that we expect each other to be in. You know, F1, F2, F3, everyone's got their spots on the ice. So we just know where to be, and it's worked out well for us lately.
A good combination of how you complement one another, your speed, Frederick good on the wall, and Adam's just a smart kind of all-around guy.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Rico's got tons of experience, and he knows how to make small little shares and little plays all over the ice. And obviously Freddie's a big body, and he's in there on the forecheck with me, and it's nice to get pucks back and then kind of work them and grind them down from there. It's nice.
It's probably a fairly long trickle down, but how does it affect Max Jones when a guy that can be on Draisaitl's out of the line?
Well, I guess, okay, the trickle down. But, yeah, I mean, it's just at the end of the day, we're a team. Everyone's got to pull their weight, and, you can't just replace Leon. It's hard to, he's an elite player. So we all got to, pull a little bit more, and that's just from the top down. So we knew that's what we needed to do, and we're just trying our best every night to bring that.
It's reminiscent of playoff hockey when it's a tie game and a goal comes from a guy that's unexpected, right?
Yeah.
As you did tonight. Is that, that's probably good fortune for you or good kind of
good karma? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I was waiting for the good karma. I kept losing card games and stuff. So, but it was nice. No, it was really nice to get that. But it just happened to be me tonight, and I'm really glad that we got that win. We knew that it was a big one, so I'm really glad that I could help contribute.
There's a lot of talk with this group about sometimes they can be pretty top heavy. What do you kind of sense from guys like yourself, the depth guys, what it means to chip in and kind of understanding how big a difference that makes?
Yeah, I know it's huge. Obviously being on the fourth line and being on the first line are two different roles, completely different roles. And we're more focusing on, hitting, creating a little chaos, getting pucks back on the forecheck, and then being good defensively. And the odd time, you get some good chances. And I feel like our line has worked really well together as a fourth line to find chances. And, obviously then they'll start going in. And, at the end of the day, that's huge for, our team to, help those top guys. And, they're going to score, obviously, but if we can help chip in a little bit, it makes the games a little bit easier.
How much tough is it to not get discouraged going back and forth?
Yeah, it's tough. They've been really good to me here in terms of communication and just the situation I'm kind of in. So it's been really good. My communication with Knobber and the staff it's been every day almost. So it's to me it's hard to get discouraged when you have that communication. They're honest with me. They tell me what's going on and I know what's going on. So I just got to do my work at the end of the day, go to the rink and control what I can control. And, whether it's here or down there, and just got to keep moving forward and help the team.
You look at the situation though now, and, the style that you're capable of and your speed, and you just look around, like injuries are there that, here's an opportunity for you at the most important time of the year to get regular in the line.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, and injuries happen. I think, my season would have been completely different had I not gotten injured in training camp, so it's just kind of one of those things that you just got to roll with the punches. And, right now I'm here and I'm here to help the team in any way I can. And I know what I need to do in that role in the fourth line. So I'm just going to continue to do it.
That's Max Jones following the Oilers win over the Sharks last night, 5-3. Also in that game, hey, she was the luck of the Irish for Conor Murphy. And did you know? And they had it on Gene's little broadcast last night that Murphy, the most popular surname in Irish lore, Irish history. And Murphy, you know what? Conor Murphy almost scored another goal about 20 seconds after his first one. Could have scored 2 goals in 20 seconds. That one play on the 3-3 goal, the puck skips over his stick. But how that play developed, I'll be honest, and Murphy will say, I got to just stop that puck along the boards when Henrique was going to get his stick. And maybe he should have backed off even more so because Sherwood was coming hard. But the way that play developed from the draw, and Henrique breaks his stick right on the faceoff. So Darnell Nurse has the puck. He knows that they're shorthanded in the offensive zone because Henrique's going to get a stick. I didn't like Darnell Nurse firing a shot 7 feet wide and over the net around the boards. At that point, that your centerman's going to get a new twig. Just, behind the net and eat it up for a few seconds. I never liked that play, to be honest with you. But anyway, Conor Murphy had this to say to the media after the contest.
That seemed like a pretty complete team effort, right? All different parts of the lineup chipping in. That's going to be good on a night where first night here with them, knowing how it's done for the year.
Yeah, for everyone to contribute is big. Even just honestly, even with him, you want a team effort to get wins deep in the season. It's going to take that from everyone. I think even more so, we had some lapses in this game, especially in the second period. So for the guys to take control in this room in between periods after the second and come back in the third, really hungry and to bring that team effort, I think is really important.
You had a situation where we were in Chicago for an extended period of time. How does the team just rally or try to kind of digest that news and kind of move forward?
I think anytime a star player goes out, there's minutes to be had that get dispersed to other players. So it's everyone's time to shine, really, to step up and take those minutes in a positive way. And it doesn't mean playing the same game that the guy has that left the lineup. It just means still staying within your strengths, being responsible, and then honestly just having a positive impact, being a plus player, just trying to create offense when you can, and then make sure you're responsible defensively, and that leads to wins. Yeah. No, actually, I don't know how many games I've had on St. Patrick's Day, but yeah, I'll take any sort of luck I can get, however it comes.
What did you see on that goal? It seemed like a little bit of a seeing eye shot.
Yeah, there's like a lot of bodies around the net. You can tell he's one of those you just want to wait as long as you can to let the screens kind of filter around the net and then find either side of the net that's open to hit with, and you just hope it finds way in because usually the goalie's not seeing it.
So when a star producer goes out, every team says the same thing. It's all got to chip in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it feel good when it happens the first night?
Any night it feels good. You get the goals, but I think everyone says it's cliche to everyone to chip in, but it really is true. When the offense isn't going to come as easy, it's going to take a little more just being responsible with your play. And it doesn't even mean you need to score that many, whether it takes what it takes. It either takes you score 5 or you score 1-0. It's just whatever the game brings, and being able to adjust and not get too down when things are going wrong like they did tonight, and just push back and take what's needed to win.
The narrative heading into the trade deadline was all about this group needing to defend better, right? They were giving up a ton. Since you've arrived, the numbers are pretty significantly better. I'm not giving you all that credit. What I'm saying, what have you seen defensively from this group? Because from the narrative heading into since you got here, it must feel like a
yeah. I don't think that's me. I think I can tell in the meetings, and I can tell that the talk in this locker room among the leadership about the buy-in, about how this last month of the season and these last chunk of games, how it's now or never to buy in and to play that responsible defensive game, because that's what wins late in the season into playoffs. So you can see that's a good sign of leadership on a team when guys bring that out vocally and really put an onus on each other and accountability that we need to do that. And there's still lapses for us to do better, but that growth is a big thing.
How'd you correct after the second? What was kind of the
guys bear down in here in the locker room. You can tell. And you can tell that guys were pretty frustrated all in ourselves. We knew the errors that we created, the puck play, and then just errors defensively, lapses. So we were disappointed in ourselves. And each guy, you could tell, had a little bit extra grit to come up for that third.
Conor Murphy, Oilers defenseman, last night scored his first goal for the Oilers in their win over the Sharks. When we come back, Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Here's the Duke.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Oilers pick up the win last night over San Jose 5-3. The final 13 different Edmonton skaters getting on the score sheet with at least a point. Around the rest of the NHL, 8 other games, including the Islanders beating the Leafs 3-1. Habs win over the Bruins 3-2 in overtime. Cole Caulfield netting his 40th of the season in that one. Canes fall to the Jackets 5-1. Wild beat the Blackhawks 4-3 in overtime. Predators, same score, 4-3 over the Jets. That one in a shootout. Canucks top the Panthers 5-2. Sabres blank the Golden Knights 2-0. And Nikita Kucherov with a hat trick. Lightning beat the Kraken 6-2. From the World Baseball Classic final in Miami, Venezuela gets a home run from Wilyer Abreu to go on to beat the United States 3-2 for their first WBC championship in national history. And in the association, 8 games total, including SGA with 40 points as OKC beats Orlando 113-108. Cleveland gets past Milwaukee 123-116. And Denver, they beat Philly 124-119. 96. March Madness first four getting underway last night from Dayton, Ohio. Howard survives to top UMBC 86-83 in Texas. Hits the game-winning shot with 1 second left on the clock. They beat NC State 68-66. WNBA and its player union reaching an agreement in principle of a transformational new collective bargaining agreement early this morning. Specifics will need to be finalized on a new CBA. Coming up in hour two, the Kevin Karius Show will be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector, as well as Fallon Middlemiss, tournament chair of the 5A Basketball Championships. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The wait is over. CTV Sunday. Television's most captivating love story continues as Sullivan's Crossing returns. And as a new season begins, the road ahead takes an unexpected turn.
Would have thought you'd mentioned being married before.
A lot's changed since then.
Morgan Cohan and Chad Michael Murray in the drama that asks, is true love enough? A new season of Sullivan's Crossing starts Sunday at 8 exclusively on CTV. Stream next day on Crave.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:01 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. March Madness is finally here. Yeah, March Madness. It's no joke. No giveaways, no phony prizes, just a good old-fashioned deal. See more at northgategm.com as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spector.
What's going on, bud? Just picked up a nice little Trailblazer up at Mike's place yesterday.
Another one. What do you get, a new one every week or what?
Yeah, no, not every week, no, but treat me well up there.
I know they do. I can't say enough of how impressed I was with you last night, Spec.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Do tell, my friend. Do tell.
Not many people can handle a remote control up in the press box like you. Trying to find the World Baseball Classic game in the first intermission without messing up the other TV. Just, the work, the craftsmanship, second to none.
Well, the hard part is those TVs are right next to each other. So you change one and you change them both.
Listen, you didn't invent the light bulb here, Skip.
And now there's about 800 channels on each one. So now you can't remember what channel the first game was on.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's harder than writing my copy last night for sure.
Do you ever see so many Venezuelan fans in the press box?
Yeah, all the boys are cheering for Venezuela.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it's kind of like that World Cup of hockey that McDavid scored in a couple of years ago to win. We all thought, I'm not sure if we're going to love this thing, and it turned out to be awesome. And so did the World Baseball Classic. Like no one looks forward to the World Baseball Classic, but by the time it was over, there's 20 guys up there watching the game, totally engrossed in it. It was a pretty big success, I think, for baseball. No.
Well, it's funny when you bring pride and passion and emotion into the equation. And for the most part, the United States team, and to be honest, their fans, on a level when you compare it to Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, name the country, it wasn't even remotely close. And that lifted those teams to the success that they had.
Yep. Especially baseball. Baseball isn't a game that, that's why we love October baseball, because it's finally being played with more emotion, and it's not just another of 162 games. And that's what this thing has going for it. Those South American countries, and the Asian ones too, probably. Yeah. They just have this national pride, and of course the States is the big bad guy, and it doesn't help when they militarily take over Venezuela, like whatever it was 3 months ago or something. So that just adds to the juice of the whole tournament when they play each other in the final. So anyway, it's when baseball's played with that much emotion, it's kind of a pardon the pun, it's a whole new ball game, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So it was good to see, and again, it's just something in the sense that, and you brought it up to. At this time of the year, there's nothing in like people are just coming. Can we get through spring training here?
Yeah.
So we got another week to go before we got real baseball. So I think everyone was pretty happy with the final product.
It does. I like to put a Blue Jays game on while I'm working. A grapefruit league game, but those games are like they're just dead air. There's no oxygen in them. They're just a bunch of guys playing baseball. Who cares who wins? Who cares what happens? So yeah, this is quite a stark contrast for sure.
Well, yeah, and I said last night, I think I might have said to you, like the decibel level was equivalent to what the Oilers' final games were in the playoffs against Florida.
Is that right?
Yeah, 112 in that area. So. And that was in the semifinal game for Venezuela. So I don't know what the number was last night. It'll be this will be the most watched Venezuelan program ever in the history. As I said, it's the biggest moment in Venezuelan sports, and the biggest maybe moment in the country's history since independence from Spain 200 years ago. Spec.
Wow. Was that on TV? I must have missed it.
No, I came up with it. This is the originality of this show, Spec.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of originality, we've talked about the Oilers' bottom six ad nauseum for a long, long time, for years. Last night, the bottom six was one of the main reasons that they won this game. And then, man, oh man, those guys really got the job done last night.
Yeah, we don't talk about that very often in Edmonton, I wrote today or last night, I guess. The one thing we do talk about a lot is how, and it's not always the coach's fault, but when you have McDavid and Draisaitl on the same team, they do take a lot of oxygen out of the room. This isn't me criticizing them. They both play a lot. They both play in a lot of huge situations. They both are such unbelievable superstar producers that, we always question, is there enough opportunity for all the Max Joneses and Henriques and all those guys? So on the very first day that Leon Draisaitl's not there, and everyone's been hearing the cliche for 3 days here, it's up to everybody to chip in, and they can't replace him with one guy, all that stuff. On the very first night he's gone, those fourth liners, Henrique chips in 2 assists and Max Jones scores a game winner. That's it's almost a metaphor for exactly what you wanted to happen in your wildest dreams. So good for the Oil. They haven't had a game like that for a while, and we all know this. When you get the playoffs and you're in dire need of a goal, of a moment, so often it comes when the teams that are good, the teams that collect Stanley Cups, so often they get a win from some guy named Travis Moen or Max Jones or some guy that you had in your hockey pool. You go, oh my God, this guy's never going to score.
No kidding. Mark Spector with us on Sports 1440. I said right off the top, if Adam Henrique plays like that last night, and there were times that they moved him up the lineup. Like, I mean, the minutes allotted for guys like Frederick and Jones, that's where it's going to be on the fourth line. You're playing 7 minutes a night. That's what it's going to be. But I mean, Adam Henrique, if he contributes like he did last night, Spec, he can be a big part of what kind of success this team can have. And again, in this role.
Yeah, it's an interesting fourth line with two big guys who can, on the goal that Max Jones scores, he knocks it loose, gets it to Henrique, and what does he do, right? Beelines to the net. Henrique puts a puck in there, and, I think Adam Henrique's a very smart player, and he knows what to do with guys like that. It's not going to be fancy, tic-tac-toe with Frederick and Jones on your wing. He gets open, he puts pucks to the net, he waits for those guys to get there. I don't know. Maybe they stumble on something here. Maybe you got a line here that you're going to like down the road.
Yeah. Connor Ingram, again, just a solid, a couple of big saves, man, at the end of the second. This game could have been had a different outlook going to the third for sure. But again, if I were to tell you that he's going to be your starting goalie at the beginning of the year in the playoffs, you'd have said, you're nuts, man.
It's true. It's true. And, there's a night last night, second night in a row where Edmonton not only got good enough goaltending to win, but if you're looking at the two goalies that played, Edmonton had the better goalie.
Yeah.
And we just haven't said that enough during the season, that when we walked away from the rink, we thought, well, who's the better goalie? It was Edmonton's guy. And we're saying that now.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't always win you the game, but oh boy, I'll bet you it wins 70% of them. He lets in 3. I mean, whatever. That's a talented offensive team. But when they needed the saves, he gave them to him. Connor Ingram's turned into a goalie here. He was good in Arizona behind a terrible team. Like, Arizona was no good, and his numbers were excellent. So you know what? You never know.
Well, again, for him, it was about getting his head right first and foremost. There was always a goalie in there. He wouldn't never played 50 games if there were no goalie there, right? Back in the day when he was in Arizona. So it was about getting his headspace right. And for the most part, that's happened, I would imagine. I mean, he looks to be in a great place. When you see him in the room, he's smiling, right? He's just always part of the process here and it couldn't have been easy for him. Think about him coming in as an outsider, technically. Would you say that he would have been, I don't know, maybe that's a strong word, but everyone talked about the fact of Skinner and Cal Pickard, how tight the room was. And then Ingram comes in. He's adjusted to this, and the team has adjusted to him, which might have been the bigger part, the harder part for him than anything on the ice.
Well, that's fair. And, this is a guy and he's been very public about his OCD issues. And there can be a lot going on when you have battled mental issues since he was a kid. He told me since I was a little kid, looking back, he said, I was doing goofy things back then, and now I know why.
Yeah.
So, you always cheer for the guy. You always cheer for people who have got something to overcome, for them to overcome it. But it's an everyday thing. Like, this is, I have never had that issue, but it seems to me, talking to Connor Ingram, I've spoke to him about it a few times now, and he just brings it up out of nowhere, like in terms of how he's handling stuff mentally. You don't even ask him and he tells you.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit like being a recovering alcoholic, in that it doesn't just go away. It's not like a broken leg that just heals and it's gone. Like, this is an everyday deal for him.
Yeah.
And as the pressure ramps up, and as it's pretty clear here, you're the number one guy, and now we're really counting on you every second night. And this is a team trying to win a Stanley Cup, and oh boy, I guess I'm the guy they're going to try to do it with. And there's lots going on, man, and good for him to, he says, even keel a cat as I've met. He's a good old Saskatchewan boy too, Kev. So
that's right.
He's overcoming that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, two guys I'm really pulling for, and I think everyone is to get 20 goals. Braslovic's at 17, but Colson's at 16. Almost had his 17th on that breakaway in the third period last night. But again, this is a guy that just keeps getting better and better, and Vasily Podkolzin better and better, and brings it every night and can play up and down with whomever, kind of like a Savoy, and we'll get to him in a moment. But
yeah, Yeah, no, and productive. Like, he's this guy that's always had this really, really good shot, but it's never translated to very many goals for some reason. And now slowly, last night he walks in and wires the puck in off the post. Like, that's a goal. I know that they were going in pretty fast on Ned last night, but that's a great shot that not many guys are stopping. Like, it's a heavy, heavy shot in off the post. And he was a bit of a crest shooter before. Like, he's a guy that would hit the goalie a lot. And all of a sudden that's changing. All of a sudden he's finding a corner and he's maturing, and the game slowed down for him a little bit. And like, I think he's a guy that where's his ceiling? What's Podkolzin's ceiling? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Beck. I think when we were looking at it, we talked about that, with if he was going to finish the year with Leon, which now isn't going to happen. Well, it's a 20-goal guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get there without Leon now.
Right. Sure. And as we go further, like, is he I think he's a top 6 player, right? If you're telling me I got a guy that retrieves pucks like that with his size and speed and a shot, and now you're telling me that shot doesn't always hit the goalie in the crest, but he's finding some, the edges of the cage once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that guy's a second-line player all day. You got him for a fourth-round pick, and he's still only 25 years old, I think.
Exactly. And then Matt Savoy, who I brought up, Spec, when you see him battling, and again, I think of him like Kyler Yamamoto and then some. When Yamamoto got here, Spec, and he was in all those battles and he was getting pasted, he was like, man, oh man, this guy, can he last? And then he wasn't able to last because he was just getting pounded so often. Savoy gets away and he slides and he's a little more slippery, I think. He's always on the pucks. He's always fighting off a guy. He might not win the battle, but he doesn't lose it seems.
Yeah, and I think he's not a big man, but he's bigger than Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Yamamoto was a very small person, really tenacious. He was a wrestler growing up, and that's what he attributed to. But he was tenacious as hell, but in the end, he weighed 160 pounds. I don't know what Savoy weighs, but I feel like he can weather a battle a little better.
Yeah, Savoy would be your 175 to 180.
Yeah, and he's got a couple things going here. He's obviously gained the coach's trust, and that's where it has to start because he's the guy that sends you over the boards. But now he's gained Conor McDavid's trust, and very much like the way Podkolzin and Draisaitl was one of the first guys on the Oilers, way ahead of us, obviously, to see something in Podkolzin that he really liked, and that helped Podkolzin get lots of ice time with a guy who gave him good touches and positive ice time with it. Obviously, an excellent player. Savoy's there now. To my eye, McDavid's saying to the coach, "Just keep giving me this guy. I like this guy on my wing." And when you get that, when your name is Matt Savoy and Connor McDavid is telling the coach he wants you on his wing, I think you're probably in a fairly preferable spot. No.
Hey, we'll talk about it tomorrow, Spec, too. But what do you think the game between the Panthers and the Oilers is going to look like tomorrow when Florida comes in? Lost last night in Vancouver, too.
Well, I mean, neither team's practicing today, for one. I think that, there can't be many games left in the season that Florida cares about, frankly. They're beat up. They're out of the playoffs. They've been to 3 cups in a row, 1, 2. They're just trying to get to the summer healthy. But this might be the only game there where the Florida Panthers have a little juice, right? Don't think they wouldn't love, the Kachuks of the world would love walking in here and, handing the Oilers a loss when they really need one. I think, the hockey fan in me wants to see a bunch of fights and a bunch of emotion and 2 teams that, the Oilers they hate their guts, all that stuff. But the smart person in me says, well, if there is one, I think the Oilers need to take all
Duke
that.
Just laughed at that, by the way.
Yeah, right. The Oilers need to take all that emotional garbage out of it.
Yeah.
They're a way better team than Florida at this moment. Florida's beat up. Florida has nothing to play for. The Oilers are, obviously Draisaitl's up, but they got a ton to play for, and they're playing really good hockey. Edmonton needs to forget who the opponent is tomorrow, roll out what they've been rolling out here for a couple of weeks, and they'll beat Florida if they do that.
Yeah.
Florida's not very good right now. If they get caught up in fights and emotions and all the stuff, hey man, now it's a coin flip. Who knows what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Yeah, well, that's what I said some things earlier about but this was a while back, and where Florida was still kind of hanging in, and the Oilers, like the 2 points tomorrow means way more than anything else for sure. But I still see it being a physical game. And I think that comes from those bottom six guys as well. So
yeah, that's good. And maybe it's asking too much to say to the Edmonton Oilers, pretend you're not playing the team that just knocked you out of the Stanley Cup twice in a row. Maybe you can't. And maybe you can channel that emotion the right way. But I'll tell you what, Florida's not going to beat you in a straight hockey game the way they're playing right now. They just lost to the Canucks like 5-2, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
the other thing too, Spec, is, you can talk about intensity of games, but I think it's an important game for guys like Conor Murphy and Jason Dickinson tomorrow to see the look on the guys' faces in the dressing room leading into this one, where, their hearts were broken 2 years in a row by this team. So I think that comes into effect here as well.
Well, it could be. Sorry,
I wanted to mention, your colleague Elliot Friedman must have had a conversation or some text with Stan Bowman, and he just released this while we're talking. Elliot Friedman says, Oilers GM Stan Bowman on Leon Draisaitl. If everything goes as scheduled, he should be back at the end of the regular season, does not need surgery. So nothing crazy we did yesterday, but.
Assuming, I think what would have happened was, the last quote we got in the press conference yesterday from Chris Knoblock, Ryan Rashog asked the question, it was a good one. It was basically, the answer was, we're not saying he's going to play in the playoffs. We're saying, and I'm paraphrasing Knoblock, he's out the rest of the regular season, and then we're going to reevaluate. And that to me said, okay, he's not playing the regular season, but that doesn't mean he's playing in the playoffs either. And I didn't like that quote. We all walked out of that press room last night, all the boys, and said, oh boy, like nobody liked what, and maybe it's difficult for Knoblock. I'm not criticizing them. It's a tough spot to be in. So what I'm telling you here is, no doubt Bowman got wind of all the tweets that came out and all the things that were said and wants to put a little bit of like positivity and put some cold water on the Leon's got a terrible injury and he's not going to play again all season long. If we take him at his word, and I'm, as an Oilers, if you're an Oilers fan, you want to take him at his word here. If he could maybe get a game or two in on the last 4 games of the season, oh my goodness, you'd take that in a heartbeat compared to how we felt like 12 hours ago at the rink. No?
Spec, well, enjoy the day off today, big fella. Well, you're still writing all the time.
I guess it's a day off all of a sudden. Yeah, no, I'm not writing. Are you kidding me? I'm out of here, Brett. Go visit one of the grandkids, or I didn't get. I picked up that car at Mike's place yesterday, and we sat and we chatted and talked at Northgate GMC, and then I thought, hey, I got time to slip in a couple of maybe a quick St. Patty's Day fight. I thought, you know what? That's a bad look. You can't just pick up a new car from Mike's place and then go straight to the pub.
I had an opportunity yesterday afternoon too, Spec, and I declined it. I said, you know what? I got to go to the game here. Like, show some professionalism, I thought.
It's too late to start that, Kev.
First time ever. Hey, but I was telling you last night, Spec, that, we had Sean Kincaid in from Dark Cloud, and he brought you that bottle of Writer's Tears. So you and I are going to tear into that one of these nights.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you're twisting my arm, I'm ready for it. Bring it to the rink tomorrow night. We'll figure it out from there.
No. This is like I can see this happening. We'll start with a glass each, or I don't know how you have yours, but you'll be done in about 2, and I'll finish the rest of the bottle.
Okay, I like that. Sure.
Well, I like it better.
Yeah, I know. Never drink with the Irishman from Saskatchewan. That's a tough mix. You know what? You're facing the Latvian here, buddy. So this could be an all-timer.
Listen, I saw you in Jasper, Spec. You're not a formidable opponent.
All right, get to work, kids.
See you tomorrow. Yeah, Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. On the Mark, brought to you powered by Northgate Chevrolet. This truck's for you. Check them out at northgategm.com. When we come back, maybe we'll hear from Chris Knoblock's post-game comments following the Oilers' 5-3 victory last night. Also coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll check in with Fallon Middlemiss. 5A tournament chair for the Provincial Basketball Championship, which is going to be hosted by Harry Ainley and Scona in our city. Starts tomorrow. The Plouffe sisters are doing the opening ceremonies. Scona, the girls won last year, the defending champs. St. FX boys won last year. It's going to be the best basketball you can see high school in our province, and it's going to be with the kids and the buzz and how they pack the gyms. It's going to be wild. That's straight ahead on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers the Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win games with salad.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
For almost half a century, families, farmers, and mechanics across Alberta have trusted Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Why? Because we know cars and we know value. Hi, Lisa here. And whether it's keeping your work truck hauling or getting your teenager's first car back on the road, Ed's has the parts you need at prices you can afford. Reliable, affordable, local. That's Ed's Auto Salvage. With province-wide shipping and daily delivery to Edmonton, visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
It's happened again, and construction season is coming soon. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 829 in Edmonton. Duke, we don't play that song enough here by the old, the Ramones.
The
Ramones. There should be a documentary out on these guys, or not a documentary, like a biopic. You know, like, I think there should be. It's a hell of a story.
You want to spearhead that
Not
operation?
really. I remember back in the days when Entourage was the big thing going. Did you,
Entourage.
You watch Entourage? Did
Like
you
the
watch?
show?
Yeah, the show.
I haven't seen all of it, but I've
Okay.
seen many episodes.
Yeah, that was the thing where Vince was going to play.
Oh, really? I don't
Joey
remember
or-
that.
Well, they had thrown the scripts around and stuff like that.
Like was this like that actor or in the show?
Just in the show.
Oh,
like, you know,
okay,
they
okay,
said,
yeah.
you know, hey, Vince, what's your next role? Aquaman or Joey Ramone? Whatever it was. In case you missed it before the break, Elliot Friedman saying that Stan Bowman has chimed in on Leon Draisaitl, said if everything goes as scheduled, he should be back at the end of the regular season, does not need surgery. So again, yesterday, I think, and Spector said it sort of was a little ambiguous what Chris Knoblock said. So, you know, just saying out for the rest of the regular season, you know, that everyone just starts jumping and saying, oh, he's done for the year, et cetera, et cetera. So, Oilers win 5-3. Chris Knoblock addressed the media following the contest, and here are those post-game comments.
Chris, what was your overall thoughts specifically about the third period?
Well, I liked how we came out and played most of the third period. You know, we could have been sitting on our heels. We had a 3-1 lead. We gave that up in the second. And I thought we just simplified our game a lot more, played a lot more tenacious in the, you know, second period. Even when we had our ozone time, we were so reluctant to shoot and we were just looking for that perfect play. And when you play like that, you end up having to make 5 or 10 good plays before you get another one, where often you just throw a puck in the net. You don't really have to make any good plays. And I don't know. I thought we just played a lot more simpler and a lot more direct in the third period. Now, of course, we spent a little more time in the third period, which happens when you have a lead and the other team's pressing and they're looking for that goal. And but with all that time in the defensive zone late in the third, I thought we did a good job.
You get 2 big goals from your fourth line. You know, obviously Max Jones the winner, and then they were involved in the other one early. And Adam Henrique just talked about playing a very simple game for them, and they felt like they've had chances for the last few games. It just hasn't really gone in. What have you seen from that line, and maybe specifically Jones since he's come up?
Yeah, I think Jones adds a little physicality, speed, definitely. They have played well. The St. Louis game, they played really well, and then we had to change some things with the lineup with, I believe it was Nuge coming back, so we had to take somebody out. And now with Leon being injured, we have him coming back in, and that line, it was huge for us. And we talked before where we need guys stepping up. You know, no one's going to replace Leon. That's never going to happen, but everyone collectively needs to be a little bit better. And that fourth line, all 3 of them were the difference tonight.
No team wants to have injuries, but Draisaitl, Lazar, Janmark, Doc gets acquired and gets hurt. Is the bright side of this, like, how potentially helpful is this maybe in a playoff series that you know what you have and guys have maybe been in different situations?
You're always going to have injuries, and I think one injury is another opportunity for somebody else. I think about last year where, you know, that was probably overboard, where we were trying to find our team. We had the trade deadline, then right after the deadline, we were just losing guys all over the place, and it was difficult to gain momentum or find out what our lines were going to be and everybody's role going into the playoffs. And Eventually we did in the LA series, but it was almost too late. Having some adversity, missing some guys is okay for a team. And as long as we have guys that are capable of stepping up and playing better, and I believe we do, then we should be all right.
And just quickly on that challenge early in the second period, were you guys just confirming where it hit?
We're confirming if it hit the glass, first of all, and then just clarifying on top of the glass opposed to side of the glass. Yes.
Just back to Draisaitl. Can you maybe just run us through the sequence of events, Chris, where Leon goes from, not playing to giving it a go. He gets the green light to give it a go to a day or two later out for the season. Just kind of what happened there and how it ended up there.
Obviously, you saw the hit and, it didn't feel right. He goes back. He gets it checked out. Medical team and Leon do some tests and just preliminary tests to find out what it's like. Leon feels comfortable enough that he wants to try it out, and nothing out of the ordinary, nothing dramatic seemed that there was anything wrong. So Leon feels like he's good to go. Obviously, there's probably some adrenaline running through him, and obviously the competitor that he is, that he's played under some discomfort before. I get the word that he wants to try it out, that he's cleared, he can play. And then he has one shift after, and then he feels, no, it just doesn't quite feel right. And obviously he took the rest of the night off. Next day he gets an MRI, and then we find out it's more serious.
So I know you said that he would be out until the end of the regular season. Do you expect him to be ready if and when the playoffs get rolling here for you guys?
Right now, the timeline we're using is the end of the regular season. And once the playoffs start, then we'll reevaluate. But it's, that's where we're at.
Chris, when you see a player like Jones, does he mirror some of the fourth line players that Florida trotted out last year against you? Greer, Gadjevich, those sort of guys that can play maybe 10 minutes and not hurt you and are strong on the forecheck.
Well, not only will he not hurt us, but I think he can help us. Obviously scoring a goal tonight, with our team, it's important to provide some energy and some physicality and some speed to our team. All three of those he checks. We need that kind of player, and I think he's a great complement to our team.
Frederick.
That's head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, Chris Knoblock. And the bottom six, that's the main reason that the Oilers won this game last night. You can talk about the two goals that the fourth line generated. Yes, Podkolzin was coming on at the tail end of that shift where Podkolzin scored his goal. But, the game-winning goal with Max Jones and Trent Frederick creating some stuff down low, and Adam Henrique joining the fray. That's what your fourth line's all about. And when your fourth line has an identity like that, it pushes the third line. And then what happens? The third line figures it out, and then they push the second line. And that upward pressure on this team from the third and fourth lines hasn't happened for a long, long time. And this is going to be critical with Leon Draisaitl out for success of this team. Hey, when we come back, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk high school basketball. March Madness starts on the NCAA front tomorrow. But here in town, we got the very best of the best that Alberta has to offer. Fallon Middlemiss will be with us, the tournament chair for the 5A Provincial Basketball Championship in Edmonton, on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Oil Kings Hockey takes to the ice at Rogers Place for the final regular season game this Sunday.
It's the Team Awards game. See who scores the hardware pregame for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, and more.
With all the family fun Sunday face painting, bouncy castles, and Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Plus a post-game autograph session.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Calgary Hitmen. Team Awards game, 4 p.m. Sunday.
The final home game this season at Rogers Place before playoff action kicks off, starting at $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca. Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French. Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the Postgame Show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
The wait is over. CTV Sunday. Television's most captivating love story continues as Sullivan's Crossing returns. And as a new season begins, the road ahead takes an unexpected turn.
Would have thought you'd mentioned being married before.
A lot's changed since then.
Morgan Cohan and Chad Michael Murray in the drama that asks, is true love enough? A new season of Sullivan's Crossing starts Sunday at 8 exclusively on CTV. Stream next day on Crave.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:41 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius Show, presented by Sports Select. If you like the paper selection slips, well, just go to your local lotto spot retailer. The computer will spit them out just like that. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Time to talk a little high school basketball with our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Draining clogged pipes like 3-pointers. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca as we welcome in Fallon Middlemiss, 5A tournament chair for the Provincial Basketball Championship, which gets underway tomorrow here in Edmonton. Good morning, Fallon. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So I bet you guys have been just working like crazy to get this thing going. How excited are you to get the 5As, which is the first time, and maybe explain that to our listeners. How excited are you to get things rolling here tomorrow morning?
You know what? We're really excited. This is the first ever 5A basketball provincial championship in Alberta. and it's being co-hosted by Harry Ainley High School and Strathcona High School, which almost feels like an oxymoron because usually we're rivalries. But it makes it pretty special for our community. And what is different with 5A this year versus previous years is in Alberta school basketball, the difference between 4A and 5A is mainly like size and classification. So for basketball specifically, SSA now runs 5 classifications. So it essentially is why this year's a little bit different, because it's now split up the competition, and it's meant to create fair competition by separating, your biggest enrollment schools versus your lower enrollment schools. So it's really exciting. It's going to be lots of really great competition, and it's the inaugural year, so we're really excited.
Yeah, before we get to all the teams and everything and events, Fallon, maybe can you just touch on again? So the first year where Alberta high schools wanted to do this, but there's always been that separation between the top end schools because of enrollment, etc., to the next level. Maybe just express how that was so important to bridge this gap, as you said, and to have it maybe the playing field a bit more fair.
Yeah, I mean, you first of all, you want to give all of these schools an opportunity to go to provincials. And if you are a 1A school and you're competing with a 5A school, that chance becomes less. So it was a really big step for high school sport to move to 5A, because it gives you your top tier, but then it also allows you the opportunity for like your rural or smaller schools to like also have an opportunity to go to provincials, compete at a level, and make it equal because that school has the same number of enrollment.
It was about 3 years ago, I guess, Fallon. I was still in television before I came over to radio, and the provincial championship was here in Edmonton, and a young girl by the name of Delaney Gibb came up out of Raymond and just dominated the tournament, as you are aware. And now we've got her younger sister coming up, Pippa, who's only in grade 10, to lead Raymond here in this tournament. This is just a phenomenal story. Could you just let our listeners know about the complexity of this and how big of a story this is for high school basketball in our province?
Yeah, totally. A lot of people know that Raymond's one of those programs where basketball just kind of runs in the family. And the Gibb family is a big part of that. And Alan, who is Delaney and Pippa's father, is coaching the team as well. And now his daughter Pippa is coming up as a grade 10 guard, and she's making a huge impact. And, Delaney as well, she led Raymond to 3 straight provincial championships. And now she's playing for BYU. And she got an all-star in her first year as a player there, and so a lot of people are following her at BYU, and that team just kind of knows how to play. They know how to win, and they got some good pedigree right there.
Could you be able to tell who's a better player in grade 10, Delaney or Pippa?
Oh man, I don't know. You know what? I have yet to see Pippa play. So I am really looking forward to that this weekend. I do remember a couple of years ago, Delaney Gibb coming to Tri-Prov, and I was like, I'm booking my classroom to come and watch this game because I want to watch Delaney play. That's how impressive she was. So I'm looking forward to seeing Pippa too. I don't have any comparisons just yet.
Yeah. Well, that's good teaching, isn't it, Fallon? Like, I don't feel like doing any teaching, so let's just go down to the gym and watch the game.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Fallon Middlemiss, 5A tournament chair here for the Provincial Basketball Championship, co-hosted by Harry Ainley and Scona. As you said, it is the rivalries there. And last year, the Scona girls won the Provincial Championship, as you know. Maybe just touch on the field on the girls' side of things here to start things off.
Yeah, in terms of like who to watch for this weekend, Strathcona, obviously they're defending champs, so they're coming in with some confidence. They're coached by Kyle Palmer, who's an awesome coach, so they have that as well. But we also have Jasper Place, and they're always competitive. They're coached by Lauren Green, and they've won multiple provincial championships, so they're definitely a contender as well. Western Canada and Calgary, they won their city championships, so they're also coming in strong. And then obviously, as mentioned, Raymond is a top-notch team too. So some really good competition.
On the boys' side of things, defending champs Saint FX maybe just let us know what your thoughts are on the boys' field here.
Yeah, so with Saint FX, they're defending Edmonton City champs, and they've won that 3 years in a row. They've always had a really good team. They're also really well coached, but which is kind of cool. This year we have Holy Trinity Academy out of Okotoks. So they're actually a 4A school, and they're a smaller school and they're a newer school, but they are ranked third in the province. So we're actually looking forward to seeing them too. And they definitely are going to give some of these, schools that have been around for a while a run for their money.
Would you say Holy Trinity out of Okotoks has a little bit of a, I don't know, like a Hoosiers sort of flavor here because of the school size compared to some of the bigger ones?
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's always that underdog mentality too, right? Like
Mhm.
you go in there, you got nothing to lose. You're new to the league, and you're not necessarily playing often against Ainley or Scona or Western, those bigger schools. So I think they might have a little pep in their step this weekend.
How does that work, Fallon, then, as you said, because, off the top to have the 5A with enrollment, size of schools, and then when you have a school like Holy Trinity here that's smaller, how do they, jump up a couple of levels here?
Yeah, so if you are a 5A school, so if your school has more than 1,400 students,
Mhm.
then you have to stay 5A. But if you are below that number, you actually have an option to move up. So you can opt up for the year, and a lot of schools will do that because if they have a stronger team and they're a lower enrollment school, they still want to give their team an opportunity to compete at the highest level. So there's an option to move up as a smaller school, but if you're a larger school, you got to stay in the 5A.
5A tournament chair Fallon Middlemiss with us here on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. Hey, the Plouffe sisters are going to be involved tomorrow as well.
Yes, it's very exciting. They're going to be at our opening ceremonies. It's actually kind of full circle moment for me. I'm a volleyball player,
Yeah.
and I played the Plouffe twins in the provincial final back in 2010, and unfortunately lost to them.
Hmm.
And they were playing their secondary sport, which was volleyball. But yeah, we're looking forward to having them come and speak to our athletes. I mean, they're Olympians, they're huge names in Canadian basketball, and I think it'll be good for them to give some words of wisdom to our athletes, and they can have something to latch onto for the weekend. So really looking forward to having them.
15 years ago in volleyball. Where's the time gone, Fallon?
I know. I probably shouldn't have dropped that year, but that's fine.
Where were you playing at? Because they were obviously at Ainley.
They were at Ainley. I was at William Aberhart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
Calgary school. I know.
Calgary.
Boo.
Yeah. Well, because you went to Mount Royal after that, correct?
I did. Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Played my
share.
volleyball years there.
That's sort of my alma mater as well.
Right on.
The
Nice.
Duke's
That's
laughing. My
awesome.
producer's laughing because I didn't really finish the program. It was college back then too, Fallon.
You did mention that it was MRC back then. I
Yeah.
do know before I came, I think the women's teams were called the Cougarettes rather than the Cougars. So I'm glad before I got there, it was the Cougars.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It was. That's a long time ago when they were the Cougarettes for sure. Maybe just touch on the school spirit here, the angle of that. And again, you've got, and there's going to be a couple games at JP too. Am I correct in that, Fallon?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we luckily we have a pretty big basketball community in Edmonton. So Jasper Place, big basketball school, Saint FX, big basketball school, and then us in Scona. So
Mhm.
we ultimately wanted to give these teams an opportunity to play on their home court. You're in your own city, you may as well take advantage of that. Spread out the venues. It puts a little bit more ease on us as well. But we have a pretty significant tournament culture at Ainley. Like we run some big tournaments like TVT, which is a volleyball tournament, and Tri-Prov, which is our basketball tournament. And so it's kind of our community and culture anyways. And we know these tournaments, it's not just about the games, it's also about the community. So we've got amazing volunteers and students involved. And when you have two schools working together to host something, it's pretty special. So we're really excited.
So that's such a key thing, that the school spirit and getting the student body involved when you're chairing an event like this, Fallon. How do you approach that, and what's the reaction from the kids in the school?
Yeah, like we're lucky. Like kids are chomping at the bit to be involved. Like they want to be there, they want to cheer on their peers, and it's about that, but they also are getting some work experience along the way too. So we have kids working ticket scanning, scorekeeping, and like the beforehand too. So looking at logistics of like making all of the welcome packages. Like there's 500 athletes. So there's lots of planning, and a lot of this is student driven. So we have lots of support from our student body, and I think I don't know other schools, but I feel like it might be unique to Ainley in that, just because of the culture with tournaments that we have.
Fallon Middlemiss with us on the Kevin Karius Show here on Sports 1440. Can you run down the schedule of events when things get rolling here, Fallon?
Yeah, so we start Thursday. Thursday morning is at 9 a.m. is our first game. It's our own home team, Harry Ainley. So our girls are playing against William Aberhart. We have games all day Thursday, and then we have our semifinals Friday, and then championship games on the Saturday at Seville. So it's a big weekend. There's 24 teams, lots of basketball. Yeah.
Well, even to play at the Saville Community Sports Center, I mean, for all the parents that are going to be coming in, I mean, that should be a packed house there as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be a packed house. We've also hired the A team. So if anyone has been to a Bears or Pandas game for basketball or volleyball, they usually have some entertainment, and we hired the A team. So we'll have some engagement, maybe a half court shot. Maybe you could come on by, Kevin, and sink that half court shot. We'll see. But yeah, so there'll be lots going on, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
I would only come, Fallon, if there were the dunk competition.
The dunk competition, nice. That is my one dream in life, is to be able to dunk, but I think that ship has sailed. So
yeah. Or we could get the Duke. He could dunk a basketball like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Hey, Fallon, thanks so much. Did I miss anything? Anything you want to add at all, Fallon? Just heading into tomorrow and getting things rolling here.
No, but if you are interested, you can go to our SSA 5A basketball provincial website. All the information is there. Tickets can be bought online, and schedule and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a great weekend. Lots of high-level basketball, great atmosphere, and a chance to be a part of history with the first ever 5A basketball provincials.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, Fallon. Good luck with the event. Really appreciate it. And hope you have a fabulous weekend. Take care.
Thank you. You as well. Take care.
Fallon Middlemiss, tournament chair of the 5A provincial basketball, which gets underway tomorrow at Harry Ainley Scona. Finals slated for the Saville Center on the weekend. And that was our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the #1 overall pick in your fantasy plumbing pool. That's mrrooter.ca. Heard a laugh from the cheap seats over here between both you donkeys.
I'm not sure which I laughed at more. Are you saying you were going to dunk? I would like to see you try and dunk, Kevin, like the mascots do at intermissions off of one of the little mini trampolines.
No problem with that, Duke. None at all.
Really?
Yeah. Somersault.
Okay.
No problem. But you were really saying what about MRC?
Well, yeah.
MRE?
That's my alma mater is like, well, Kev, is it? Now, hey,
I was there a year and some.
So to my point, what I was about to say, like I'm not necessarily a believer that you have to be at an institution for the full scope. Graduate with it, but a year and a half, that's not a very long time.
Well, might have been a tad shorter, but
even stretching that out a little bit.
Hey, I'll as you said, Duke, I'll never forget. Like I went in when I got a job offer. Or I said, no, I was going for this interview or whatever. And I'm the head of the program, Mark Chikinda was his name, turned into politics, a politician. And I said, well, I think I should finish the school. I should finish the program. He goes, what are you, stupid? He said, the whole idea
is to get a job.
Is to get the job here. So then I was gone.
And back then, well, maybe I guess I don't really know, but back then, was it as common that people wouldn't hire you until you had finished program, or was the job not necessarily related?
I went to a small town though. Like for you guys to start here in town, that's unheard of.
Oh, for sure it is
unheard of.
I mean, they still tell us that. Like when Josh and I went to Nate, the problem is nowadays, unfortunately, a lot of the smaller markets have crept away, and a lot of it's syndicated and things like that. Even if the smaller stations do exist, and Kev. Cards on the table. I was fully prepared to move back, and even Red Deer would have been a great get for me, being close to home. But whether it was their stations in Stettler and down in Drumheller and stuff like that, I was all on board to do that, and things kind of worked out very fortunate for me to be sitting here with you.
For sure. Hey, we were talking just one quick one because it's on top of mine. Big Rig text in. I saw Pippa Gibb play earlier this year against my little sister. Really good, and that team was an absolute wagon. I mean, Pippa Gibb, grade 10. Her sister Delaney's at BYU. Paul Sir said she's going to be playing in the WNBA. That's how good. And Pippa's on her way as well. Top of the hour, we got David Schlimco coming in, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Oilers players picked up a point last night as they defeat the Sharks 5-3 from Rogers Place. Leon Draisaitl missed his first game and what will be absent for the remainder of the regular season. And Elliot Friedman reporting, as Stan Bowman says, he will not be requiring surgery. Around the rest of the NHL, 8 of the games, including the Leafs, falling to the Islanders 3-1. Habs get past the Bruins 3-2 in overtime. Cole Caulfield netting his 40th of the season in that one. Jackets beat the Canes 5-1. Wild over the Hawks 4-3 in OT. Preds beat the Jets also 4-3. That one in a shootout. Canucks get past the Panthers 5-2. Sabres blank the Knights 2-0. And the Lightning defeat the Kraken 6-2. Lone game in the PWHL saw Toronto shut out Boston 2-0. And the World Baseball Classic coming to a close from Miami. Venezuela claiming their first championship in country history with a 3-2 win over the United States. In the association, there were 8 games. SGA with 40 points as OKC beats Orlando 113-108. The Knicks get past Indiana 136-110. And Denver beating Philly 124-96. March Madness first 4 tipped off last night from Dayton, Ohio. Howard holds on to defeat UMBC 86-83, and Texas hits the game-winning shot with 1 second left to beat NC State 68-66. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sadie Lungquist from College Hockey Inc., covering the women's Frozen Four, and our Wednesday co-host, former NHL defenseman David Schlimco. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Whether it's a house, a gas station, an apartment complex, or any new building going up above ground, the work always starts below ground. And that's where you'll find GS Construction. GS Construction ensures the first step, relocating utilities, installing new ones, and building the underground systems, is taken to make progress possible. But the work can't start without you. GS Construction is currently on the lookout for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you?
Who, me? No way. I swear.
Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor@sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply,
your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident. More than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat,
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
if you need it immediately with no overtime rates, if you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC,
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling. Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:04 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. We got a good docket on the NHL front tonight, and the Duke will be dipping his toes into there. You can bet on that because there's the one big game, the big game tonight. And that has Colorado and Dallas. And the Duke is going to be doing some sprinkling on that at sportselect.com. I can guarantee it.
Oh, Kev, I got it coming up as a topic for during in or out as well, honing in on that game. So I was on the board last night, Kev, and came out even again. So gives me a chance to go back at it.
Check them out at sportselect.com. But man, that is a big game. Dallas, they win that game in regulation. They got a more than a legitimate shot at winning the President's Trophy and the Central Division. Hey, let's welcome in our co-host on Wednesdays for Cougar Paint and Collision, David Schlimco, powered by Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years, part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program. Check them out at cougarcollision.com as we welcome in David Schlimco, the former NHLer. Good morning, Schlemmer.
Morning, KK.
How's it going, big guy?
I'm great.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
You got good. You enjoyed that game against your alma mater yesterday, or one of them? We had Dan Rosanowski in yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. He's been around a long time.
Good dude. Yeah, good dude.
We talked to him in the press box.
It was a highly entertaining game. Like I was saying at the break there, I think could have been 8-7. It was didn't look like playoff hockey per se, but very entertaining. Oilers come out with the win. Nice to see some depth guys step up.
Oh, boy.
Got to give Trent Frederick a shout out. I've been pretty hard on him on this show, admittedly. He's arriving on time, man. I don't know if it's maybe the ankle just took that long, but you can just tell the way he's skating. He's actually turning pucks over on the forecheck. Did it twice last night, ended up in goals. So great to see.
And you're always looking for some chemistry, and maybe the fourth line has it now. And I mean, that's just as a result because of Leon Draisaitl out till the end of the regular season. No surgery required, in case you missed it earlier this morning.
Great for Rico to get going too. Couple apples for him. That's huge.
He had his best game of the year, I think, almost. I would say it's his best game of the year.
Yeah.
And
Szymanski's good too.
Szymanski was really good. He had one little turnover, one giveaway inside the blue line.
Yeah.
And other than that, he was very dependable.
He looks like a little more confident with the puck, though. I don't mind that he's like, willing to make a play here and there with it.
That was the whole thing. That one shift. I mean, he was basically right in the middle of the two defensemen and kind of cycling. It was a reverse cycle up top, is what it was.
Yeah.
So let's just start with. I mean, you mentioned Frederic. So it's been a year since probably the high ankle sprain. So he's damaged good when he gets here.
Right.
He was irrelevant for the playoff run and the rest of the. He didn't play in the regular season. So
I mean, he's pretty much been irrelevant until the past couple of weeks
since the Olympic break,
right?
Since the return of.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Okay.
So he's got a couple goals here, but again, he's banging, and him and Jones started a little cycle down low. Those are guys that you get two guys like that. Finally, there's an identity on the fourth line.
There you go. That's the point we needed to make, right?
Yeah.
Like have an identity. Like, I mean, you can just see it in the way Frederic's playing. He's actually got some confidence. I mean, as a player, especially when you're a depth guy, if you're just getting that like token shift because it's your turn, or if you're out there because you're actually doing something good.
And when you mentioned Henrik Schlemmer, I think that this was a real kick in the ass for him. When you played 1,000 games in the NHL here. You haven't scored since October, whatever it is, 28th, 3rd, whatever it is. But you see a guy that's a rookie. And when you've been around this long and you see someone go down like this, you see a Leon go down. Well, the original thought is, I should be taking over 3C here.
Right.
But that's not the case. So I think this was a real kick in the ass for Henrik to have Szymanski say, well, no, coach says, no, Szymanski's going in between Podkolzin and Kapanen. Because Henrik's played there lots.
Sure.
So now I think that's what you need.
A little fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's not like Rico can't do it. I played with the guy in Jersey. He was one of the guys, right? So it's not like this is foreign to him, like scoring goals, contributing offensively. But yeah, I would agree with you. That probably lit a little fire.
I think it did, But we said this about 10 times this morning. This is the first time in a long time we've talked about the bottom six in a good way.
Fair point. Fair point.
I mean, Podkolzin and Szymanski, Kapanen were good.
I mean, Podsy's just been unbelievable all year.
Yeah,
you always know what you're going to get from him, right?
It's just when you don't ever take a shift off.
Right, exactly. You always know what you're going to get, man.
So cool. David Schlimco with us here on Sports 1440. The second period, though, the Oilers almost stopped skating and stopped playing. And, there was a couple saves late in that second period by Ingram. This could have been a 4-3 game easy going to the third in favor of San Jose.
Easily.
So what do you think? Why did that let down in the second there?
Your guess is as good as mine, man. We were sitting there at the academy in the afternoon yesterday. What's going to happen tonight? Like, how are the Oilers going to play without Leon? And I honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea how the Oilers are going to come out and play tonight.
Yeah,
they haven't been a real model of consistency.
And as soon as when you were playing, who was the biggest star that got hurt for a month or whatever? Can you remember? Did Joe Thornton go down, or was it
I say probably Jumbo in the playoffs that year that the Oilers beat us.
Okay, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
I was thinking more in the regular season, but that's really I'd forgotten about that. So what's the message? Well, no one's going to replace Joe.
Exactly,
and then everyone's going to
all the cliches. Yeah,
everyone's going to have to pull on the rope.
Exactly, it's all like by committee and blah blah blah. I do remember Pete snapping in between periods one game. I can't remember what it was, but we must have just came out and we're crap that period, and Pete's in the intermission and screaming at everybody right in your face like, Jumbo, this guy's played 1 million games. He's playing on one knee and you guys can't even win a puck race.
I'm sure that's been you could just insert player's name here.
Oh,
in the blank.
Yeah.
In the blank for sure. San Jose, I looked at this record too, and Macklin Celebrini, he had some chances last night.
Oh, yeah.
He was visible for sure. They're 1-13-2 when he doesn't record a point. And you know that he has 95 points.
Not shocking.
Yeah, 95 points compared to 45 where Smith and I think to Foley. I don't know if maybe one of them got a point last night, but 50 points difference.
Yeah.
Between one
I mean,
and two.
Smiths are skewed because he missed a bunch of time. I think
Fair.
he is closer to a point per game, but after those two guys, it does fall off a cliff a little bit. But you know what? Like, they're a fun team to watch, man. They play fast. They kind of remind me of like
Anaheim.
young
Anaheim.
Oilers a little bit. Like,
They're like Anaheim too, right?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
they
Like,
don't care if they give up a couple chances here.
they're gonna run and gun, and they're gonna make some mistakes, but that's what happens when you got young skill.
Yeah. They're a team that is still building. They need some pieces on the back end yet.
Yep.
They'll find Dickinson. You can see
It's gonna be
is
really good.
I like that mentorship, actually, to be honest with you, between Desharnais and Dickinson.
Yeah.
There's something there. I don't know. Like Vinny's got, does he have another year left? No, I think he's done after this year. But I think all of their guys are basically, their contracts are expiring on the back end.
Right.
So
Vinny looked good last night. He found a nice role on that team,
that's what
being an everyday NHLer.
Yeah, I think he's also like there's guys that understand their roles, and then guys that play outside of their roles.
Yeah,
And
like
that's-
he knows what he is.
and then you get in trouble, So Matt Savoy,
Can't say enough good things about this kid right now.
You've known him a long time, so maybe just
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know him personally that well. I feel like I'm learning more and more just working at the St. Albert Academy because he was there as a kid, and like everyone there just can't say enough good things about him, as a player and a person. And you just got to give him so much credit. Like how many 9th overall picks have you seen like go like through the development that he's had to go through, right? So first he gets traded before he's even plays a pro game, I think. He's got to go down to the minors for a year. He's got to come in and be a depth forward, a defensive forward, a penalty killer. And he comes in, he doesn't complain. He does everything right. And look at him now. He's just flourishing. He looks great on McDavid's wing. I think he's just so hard on pucks, especially for a little guy. Like his second effort on pucks is unbelievable.
So that's a question I want to ask. We've talked about it in the morning here a few times. Not the biggest guy. He's 175, 180 pounds. I equated him to like better than a Kyler Yamamoto when he came in. Remember how Yamamoto fought for all those pucks?
Yeah.
And then it sort of consumed him, the size of everyone else around him.
Right.
So okay, when you played and you had a guy like Savoy, and when you watch him battle, he might not win every battle cleanly.
Right.
But it's like, okay, if I can, this battle that I'm going to go with David Schlimco here in the corner, if I don't lose it, say it's 50-50, well, then there's another battle that's going to start in like 2 seconds.
Exactly.
So-
That's my point. The second effort is like a lot of guys will go into a stick battle and, maybe you lose the puck, the guy gets a step on you and they just kind of give up and he's gone. I mean, like not everyone's as quick as Savvy, but he will take those 2 quick strides and be right back on you and strip it right back off. It's, he's relentless on the puck.
Is it quickness with the skates, like just in that tightness of a battle with guys that are bigger than him? And then also maybe touch on the leverage.
I was just going to say, the leverage. He's very strong on his stick. I'll give him that. But he also uses his size, his shortness to an advantage, right? There's a lot of coaches that'll say, like, you got to get low, like low man wins in a puck battle. You get low, you get under that stick, and you're going to win that puck.
Yeah.
He does a good job of that.
And again, now the points are starting to come for him more so. I got to check exactly. I think he is on he's on a 3-game point streak, 1 goal, 2 assists. He's got points in 10 of his last 11. He's tied with Linus Karlsson for 11th in rookie scoring this season. One of 17 rookies to score 25 plus points. One of 10 Oilers to score 20 plus points this year. So
yeah, and I mean, most of the offense is coming like the second half of the season, right? I mean, he wasn't putting up big numbers the first half. He was not getting that many chances.
Yeah.
I mean, now he could have double the points he's had lately. He's getting a ton of chances. He's creating. I mean, obviously playing with better line mates is going to help that. Playing with Connor McDavid, you're going to get more chances. But he's earned his chances. He's earned that ice time.
Yeah. We're going to talk a little women's college hockey when we come back with Sadie Lungquist from, pardon me, what's that, dude?
Sadie Lungquist.
Sorry, Sadie Lungquist. What did I say? Katie? I think you probably typed it in wrong. Sadie Lungquist. Pardon me. I'm sorry. Sadie, from College Hockey Inc. It's the Frozen Four getting underway this weekend. So we'll discuss that with David Schlimco. And when we come back on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
Welcome back to the big program, 9:22 in Edmonton. We're going to continue to talk hockey on a Wednesday morning. We're switching gears, though. We're going to talk a little college women's hockey with the Frozen Four coming up this weekend in Buffalo as we welcome in Sadie Lungquist from College Hockey Inc. back to the show. Good morning, Sadie, with Kevin Karius and the former NHLer David Schlimco. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you having us.
Well, hey, since we talked last, you kind of got a new title at College Hockey Inc., a new job. What's that like?
Yeah, similar job items, just, a little bit change in the title. So our core mission, my core mission, my day-to-day stayed pretty similar. I just, took on a little higher title, which is always nice.
Yeah, it's like the old more work, same money, right?
Yeah, right. Still get to focus on women's hockey, which what a dream that is,
Yeah.
So no complaints here.
Hey, we'll talk about how the rise and the growth is just continues all over North America and the world for that matter, but mostly in North America. I think you would agree with that, especially after what happened at the Olympics here, Sadie. But maybe just a thought as you get ready here for the Final Four in Buffalo, and what your expectations are for the semifinal games to get going this weekend.
Yes, Frozen Four. And actually, we're at Penn State this year for the women's tournament. Which is awesome because Penn State is in its first Frozen Four in program history. So it's always nice when the host site gets to be in it. One, from an attendance perspective, but two, from the growth of the game in that market. So we're pretty excited. Ohio State and Wisconsin, it's kind of rinse and repeat. A lot of folks see them making it to the national championship, but I think beauty of hockey and college hockey is it's anyone's game between Ohio State and Northeastern. They upset the Gophers to make it to the Frozen Four. And then Penn State's got a big plate ahead of them facing Wisconsin, reigning national champs. But it's packed with Olympians, international players. The future of the PWHL is truly going to be on display this weekend.
Yeah. My mistake. I was thinking Pagula, and the first thing I thought about was the Buffalo Sabres because they're good.
100%.
So, Slimmer?
Yeah. Hey, Sadie. You know what? I just after watching the Olympics, such a big difference compared to 4 years ago. How much the U.S. looked, to me anyway, dominant. Over that Canadian team, and I've got to think that has a lot to do with the state of the NCAA and women's hockey, and maybe just talk about how much that has improved over the past number of years.
Yeah, when I watch the game, I played college hockey back 09 to 13, and I genuinely look at these players and I think, could I keep up with them anymore? The skating and the skill of today's college players it's through the roof. And it's this generational turn almost, where you can see those skills are heightened. And so the U.S. really took advantage of that. They went a little younger than Canada did. Whether or not that was what ultimately led to a gold medal, you can't put it on one thing, but I think there's 8 active NCAA players on Team USA, and there are a lot of players who kind of ran away with the tournament. So it is a big shift on women's hockey as a whole. The PWHL has come in, it has risen women's hockey as a whole. We're seeing that effect in college. In turn, we're seeing that in high school and youth hockey, that the game is just getting better at a exponential rate now. And I think, one thing, NCAA hockey is really good right now, but the PWHL too, especially when I was in college, those players, you graduated. If an Olympic wasn't for 3 years, you were trying to find competitive hockey for 3 years to stay in shape. So now you have the perfect blend of PWHL players at their peak, NCAA players, starting their season even earlier than the PWHL. It's just a culmination of a lot of great things. And we saw that on display at the Olympics. That was some of the best women's hockey. It was the best women's hockey I've ever seen.
Yeah. Sadie Lungquist with us from College Hockey Inc. The Frozen Four gets underway at Pagula Ice Arena in University Park as far as the weekend games go. But this has been going on, since March the 12th with the games that without the top seeds, as you know, Sadie. And you mentioned the upset between Minnesota and Northeastern. Being a fellow Minnesotan, did that one that one stung a little bit for you?
No, maybe, as College Hockey Inc., I'm just happy that teams are making it. Everybody loves an upset. I'm from northern Minnesota originally, so UMD was actually the team I watched growing up. But that being said, I think, you have the 1, 2, and 3 seed in it. They're top. Ohio State and Wisconsin are kind of the names that rule college hockey, women's college hockey right now. So Penn State, like I said, awesome that they're hosting. It's their first program one. There's a story there that could write itself. And then Northeastern, they have a sophomore goalie who just stood on her head against the Gophers. I think they put nearly 50 shots on her. So obviously a team effort. They got some scoring from freshmen. They have the sophomore standout goalie. It's a great game by Northeastern, but everybody loves an upset and a Cinderella story. So we'll see how that plays out this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Is there anybody that you see that's kind of like a star in the making in this tournament that could jump to the PWHL and make an immediate impact?
All of them. I mean, I truly like this year's graduation class for the PWHL draft. I mean, GMs in the PWHL have to just be ecstatic. I think 6 of the top 10 Patty Kazmaier finalists are in the Frozen Four. All 3 of the top finalists for the Patty Kazmaier are in the Frozen Four. So, I mean, you've got Caroline Harvey, Layla Edwards, those are names that came from the Olympics, Tessa Janicki at Penn State. There's just this senior class is really deep. So the PWHL is going to be pretty excited come June with the draft numbers.
Layla Edwards, she really created a lot of, headlines and everything with the Kelsey brothers helping her and everything like that. That must have been a real kind of a heartwarming, feel good story down there.
Yeah. I think it's great because there's a lot of fun stories, like good human interest stories in women's hockey right now. And that's what you want young women to connect with these women on and off the ice. And for every human interest story or quirk that these young women have, or something that you can connect with them on, they're way better. They're not way better. They're just as good at hockey players. I mean, if you've seen Layla Edwards shoot, she comes down top of the circles, pulls it between her feet, and just snaps it off like, no other shooter I've seen really in women's hockey. The skill of these players is so high right now. But it's this different generation connects a little differently with youth hockey. Certainly not something we saw maybe 10, 15 years ago due to, social media and just the connected presence we have with young players who connect more with individuals rather than teams. So yeah, Layla Edwards was a huge story. Like I mentioned, Caroline Harvey was a big story. There's a lot of really, really good college players who will make an impact in the PWHL next year, and we'll continue to grow the game. We're going to see a big influx from the Olympics on women's hockey, and in 15 years, college hockey is going to be even better for it.
So, Sadie, I just kind of mentioned your role hasn't really changed much at Hockey Inc., like the mission or whatever. Could you maybe just remind our listeners what that is?
Yeah. We're really like the growth and marketing arm of college hockey. So we kind of come to life in 3 ways. We work with schools that actually want to add college hockey. So we're actively working with about 4 or 5 programs that want to add either men and or women's Division I hockey. So it's a big part of it. We just hope that in 15 years, there are more opportunities for kids to play college hockey. We do a lot of PR, social media marketing. We just want a bigger, broader, more engaged audience with college hockey. And then we offer we're a free resource for parents and programs and student athletes who want to play. I'm not an advisor. I don't care where kids go or where they want to play, what level they play at. Our goal is just take all that research and information and be a resource for families who maybe are a little bit lost or don't know what to do. Maybe they're in rural. I talk with a lot of Western Canadians who say, we're not in the footprint of college hockey, but our daughter wants to play. How can we help her off of the ice get to the college level? So we do a lot of that as well. But
that's cool.
A lot of odds and ends behind the scenes. We're kind of like the little engine that supports a lot of different entities with research and data.
Yeah. So to that point, it sort of piqued my interest because Schlemmer's worked with a lot of younger players here that, want to try the NCAA route. And maybe years and years ago, we saw it on the men's side of thing, as far as AJ, SJ, and all the teams here. We're seeing more and more college capable American players filling out rosters. How prevalent is that to draw, younger women from, say, Western Canada, because that's where our listenership is, to get them down there? What's that road? What's that process here, Sadie?
Yeah, it's a great question. Really, since probably the 2000s and beyond, college hockey, women's Division I college hockey is very Canadian. Our 2 primary sources, obviously American Canadian, similar to the men's, but our growth hasn't been as, dramatic in the women's side. It's kind of always been. The NCAA Division I women's hockey is really the springboard for international play in the PWHL. So it's about 40% Canadian, and we do see that number go up year over year. A lot of it is the Ontario, right? Toronto area. That's where a bulk of the players come from. But year over year, even in the 3 years I've been at College Hockey Inc., we have seen an increase in Canadians every year from Manitoba, from British Columbia, maybe moving that footprint west. Some of that is just coaches have a better ability to recruit further west and get further outside of that Toronto, Ontario footprint. But some of it's just the growth of the game too. And I think more willingness to move to the United States to play college hockey. And it's a big ask. It doesn't matter where you are, North America, outside of it. We're seeing more Europeans. It's a big move. College hockey, women's college hockey footprint is relatively small from the Midwest up to the Northeast, but we are seeing a global impact on college hockey. More kids are willing to move further to play it.
Yeah, I think the exposure of the game's got to be a big part of it. Like I worked with the NAX, like an academy here, the U18 female team last year, and I'm on Insta and I'm sending videos to all these coaches because that's where these girls want to go now. They don't want a Canadian scholarship. They see it on TV, they see it on social media, and they want to be down in the States and they want that experience, the NCAA experience.
And we don't ever try to discourage kids. U Sport's an incredible path too. That's the thing. We're never trying to win them over. We think wherever's going to keep you more engaged in hockey, play it. And there are great U Sport players in the PWHL. There's a path for everyone. Our message is, if there's X amount of players in the PWHL, each one had a different path. Find yours. If you think it's going to be college hockey, we can help you with that. And the research certainly supports it. I think 92% of PWHL players came through NCAA Division I hockey.
Sadie Lungquist with us from College Hockey Inc. How could you take maybe not necessarily the College Hockey Inc. template platform, but where I'm getting at here, Sadie, is the Europeans. And you mentioned a few of them coming over now more and more to American colleges. We see it in the men's game too. But every time we see the Olympics or the rivalry series, as you know, and you know where I'm going with this, the gap between Canada and the US and the rest, it hasn't been closed and since this has really got going for 25 years. Maybe can you get your perspective on why that gap hasn't closed and what the Europeans need to do over there to get that gap closed?
Yeah, it's a great question. It is a tough one to answer because I think every IIHF entity is going to be a little different, but I would say we're seeing an uptick in resources being put towards women's hockey. If you saw, Czechia has made huge improvements. Sweden and Finland's always been kind of that next tier, and they've made a jump. And while it's still not, we're likely going to see U.S., Canada, and an Olympic gold medal on paper, right? On paper, those are the teams we're going to see. The gap is closing. It's getting more competitive. PWHL is certainly going to help with that, right? It's the best league. Players can continue to play there. But in our research, we have found there's a correlation with teams that are starting to close the gap year over year have more NCAA Division I players on it. And I think it's twofold. One, and I get why, maybe these entities don't want to send their kids here to play hockey. I totally get that. You want to develop your own talent on homegrown soil. But at this point, NCAA hockey is the best. That's what's going to put them into the PWHL most likely. And that's really what's going to continue that cycle of growth and closing the gap between really the North American and non-North American teams.
And maybe just run down the semifinal set for Saturday here with Ohio State and Northeastern. And then it's got to be a zoo. It's going to be a zoo with Penn State and Wisconsin for the night game at the Pagula Ice Arena. That's going to be crazy in there. What are your expectations for what the crowd's going to be like for that one, Sadie?
We actually just had a meeting this morning, and the NCAA rep said the numbers right now for ticket sales are great. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of buzz around the weekend, especially with Penn State being in it. But Ohio State, Northeastern, and Wisconsin all have dedicated fan bases who travel. So I'm really excited to see the turnout from all the teams. Ohio State, Northeastern, Ohio State is, I call them blue collar talent. They're incredibly talented, but they are as blue chip, like they will outwork anyone. But Northeastern is young. They're fast. They have a great goaltender. So that's going to be a great game and a huge test for Northeastern. And then Penn State and Wisconsin, it's kind of the same. Penn State, they have a phenomenal goalie led by Tessa Janicki. She's a great goal scorer, phenomenal two-way center. And then just Wisconsin, you kind of know what you're getting, right? They had 4 Olympians on their team. They're kind of between them and Ohio State, they're the teams to beat. And they have been, because it's 3 years in a row they've met in the championship game. So I genuinely, when I say it's anyone's tournament, it is. There are certainly some favorites. People see another rematch coming, but I think Northeastern and Penn State will have something to say about that. People assuming that's going to be the championship game again.
Hey, Sadie, thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. Congrats on the new title. Same amount of work, but thanks for coming on as always. Have a wonderful weekend there, and should be a great final Frozen Four, for women's hockey.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me and taking some time to talk women's hockey. It's growing, so we appreciate you guys just taking some time to talk it.
You betcha. Thanks, Sadie. That's Sadie Lungquist from College Hockey Inc. The Frozen Four gets underway at Penn State for the semifinals between Ohio State, Northeastern, and then Penn State and Wisconsin. Winner goes on to play Monday, March 22nd. That'll be an afternoon game, I believe, at the Pegula Ice Center.
Prime time.
Prime. Wow. I mean, you got to get back to school. Come on, Schlimco.
Fair.
Got to get back to school. The old Rodney Dangerfield. When we come back, we'll go in or out with David Schlimco on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, their family-first approach makes you feel like part of the clan.
We care about the shop because it's our name on the sign. And when you own a business, that is so important to remember that everyone you're dealing with is a human being, and they're going through something, whether you see it or not. What will make people choose you is how they feel when they leave your shop. People need to feel important. They need to feel heard. I think that sets us apart. It's really, really important.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991. or visit silentrides.ca.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
You started wearing it to guys' night. Nice toque, you hoser. Then you started wearing it to work.
Nice toque, you hipster.
But the truth is, you're not a hoser or a hipster. You're just trying to hide your hair loss. I'm Dr. Vance Elliott, and for over 2 decades, I've used the latest techniques to help thousands save their hair, including my own. Come see me today to explore your options. By the time it warms up enough to take off the toque, you could have a head of hair you won't want to hide. Go to drvancelliot.com today.
Step up to the plate with confidence this season with St. Albert's Source for Sports, your trusted experts in baseball. From the diamond to the dugout, get the latest from top brands like Mizuno, Victus, Marucci, Wallings, and Easton. Suit up with new cleats, helmets, pants, and don't forget the gloves, because champions know that every catch counts and every play matters. At St. Albert's Source for Sports, they know the game and they have the gear to prove it. St. Albert's Source for Sports, your source for baseball gear over 35 years.
Sports 1440. All sports, all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:44 in Edmonton. You know, Duke, sometimes you send me the a couple of emails and they go somewhere else. I can't find them.
Kevin has me on his spam list, and all my emails go straight to his junk folder.
I don't think so, but you know, we're trying to.
Well, like Kevin, you know that when someone sends you an email, you can do this thing called like add them to your contact list.
You are on the contact list. Come on now.
So then why are my emails going to your junk
once
folder?
every blue moon. I don't know.
What do you mean blue moon? This happened yesterday.
It never went to junk. It doesn't update. It doesn't refresh for me.
Yesterday, you say, oh, this is why we skipped in or out. You never sent the email. I'm like, Kevin, I sent it 2 hours ago.
No, I never said that yesterday, Duke. I said I just forgot yesterday.
Well, that's what you said on air, but off the mic, you're like, well, you never sent it to me.
Oh, no. Time now, though, for Are You In or Out? Brought to you by Pro Solutions. Need fast air conditioning service? Well, Pro Solutions offers expert repairs, tune-ups, and installs with flexible financing. Book your appointment now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke. Letterbuck.
Oilers picking up a big win last night over the Sharks. 2-0 so far on their homestand. 5-3 the final. 13 different Oilers players registered a point in the victory. And this is going to come across as twofold. It's not necessarily a knock as much as it is a testament, but I don't think that we will see as good of a full team effort the rest of the way down the season as we saw last night.
Ooh, yikes. Loaded question here, Duke.
Well, I sure hope you're wrong, Duke.
Well, I think you and a lot of other people, but I just think when you look at the game and you break it down like line to line, shift to shift, and the second period was not great essentially across the board, but overall, I don't know, based on what we've seen this year, how you can expect to see anything better than that.
Well, I mean...
Well, I'm out on this, Duke.
Yeah.
If they don't have it, then they're in big trouble.
You expect that rounded of an effort, 1 through 18, for 13 more games this year.
I'm saying for 13, but it's
I think up front they were, like everyone pulled their weight. But I mean, I'm looking at the back end. Like Ingram played well. They could have given up 5 or 6 goals.
But that's just who they are.
I don't think anyone defended the rush well. I think outside of Conor Murphy, we didn't box out well. I think outside of Bouchard and Ekholm, all of our D really struggled moving the puck up the ice. So I don't know. That's just not a full team effort to me. Like, you got some scoring from your depth guys up front, but I don't love the full team effort. They took a whole period off.
They were tired.
So I'm going to say they're going to need that and more, Duke. So
it's kind of I was flip flopping about how to phrase this and saying for these remaining games, and we're going to get to Leon Draisaitl's absence on collective here in a moment. Like, how many games like that from, let's maybe hone in on the forward group here, do they need to win this division? They find themselves tied atop it right now. The Ducks have a couple games in hand. Even the Sharks, there's more separation now, so that worry of being caught is a little bit further in your rearview mirror, but there's still other teams flirting around here with Vegas and Seattle. How many nights like last night do you need to win this division and secure that top seed, as opposed to nights where Connor McDavid puts the team on his back, or Evan Bouchard has one of these unbelievable evenings, as we've seen a lot since the end of November?
I think
there's a balance there, because you are a top-heavy team still, but you do need nights where everyone else pulls on the rope.
Yeah, I mean, I think at least half of the games, like, that's a great blueprint. If you would have said, like, forward group 1 to 12, that's as good as an effort. I would have been in.
Okay. Well, Blair also
laughing at.
Blair picked it. It's the dumbest question I've ever heard.
Our buddy Blair, he just waits to bounce.
Blair doesn't like me anyway, because he takes his daily nap between 11 and 12 because he can't handle sports talk of Fantasy Frenzy. Listen, it's not for everyone. That's perfectly fine. But
poor Blair.
Last night was the Oilers' first. It was going to be 13 games to round out the regular season without Leon Draisaitl. Words from Stan Bowman reports by Elliot Friedman this morning that, no surgery, expecting him to be back start of the playoffs. His absence may be most felt on the top-ranked Power Play 1 unit. They did cash in a goal last night, but that spot over on the one side, few different looks with different options so far. Might be crazy, but I think Jake Wallman should get another look over there in the one-timer spot.
I'm so out on this.
Man. Great start, Duke.
So out on this, Duke. It's not even funny. Let's not complicate this guy's game any more than it needs to be right now.
Okay.
For one, that's one. I mean, Nuge just scored a goal that Leon scores there in that spot last night.
Yep.
You have the right-handed option now on the other side with Savoy and Roslovic, which is different because anytime Nuge would shoot from over there, he's got to take the puck across his body, and he's scored tons of goals over there in the power play. But that's what I'm just fine with the way it is. Jake Wallman, he still needs – let's just keep his game as simple as possible. He doesn't need to worry about anything else right now.
Thank you. Yes, Jake Wallman is in hot need to worry about the power play right now. He's got to get his game together. For me, the Oilers power play, it works with movement, right?
Right.
Even look at the goal last night. McDavid just, decides to dance 4 guys and throw a 6-seam pass. But I think if Wallman's over there, then McDavid's stuck on the other side, right? Then it can really only work off of one side. And whenever it comes to Wallman, it's going to be a one-timer.
Yeah.
So I think it makes it a lot more predictable.
All I have heard Kevin Karius say since the moment the Oilers acquired Jake Wallman is how much he loves him playing the offside because it's so easy to do, and his one-timer is the best on the team and all this stuff. And now I throw this out here.
I think that was before we saw the experiment.
No joke. I was typing this out. I was like, I'm not even sure I even really believe this, but I'm going to see what the fellas think on it instead. I like to be very blunt. I might actually prefer, if we're sticking with the left-handed shot there, you had like puck holes. We talked with Spec about how his shooting has seemed to take a little bit of another step this year, and he is actually being able to beat goalies cleanly at times, whether it be from distance like last night, or we know how good he can still be in close and in tight and puck retrievals. That's a valuable asset on a power play. So I don't know. I think they might get a little creative, and we might see a few different looks moving forward. But also, the reason I'm not totally against another look at the Wallman experiment is kind of the exact same reason you said about not overthinking things more. He's an offensive guy. That's where his bread and butter is giving him that opportunity, a chance to, get a little bit of confidence that can maybe spill over into other elements of his game. It's out there, but in a spot where I don't think it's a surefire thing for anybody to play there, is it super outlandish to say he gets at least a look on the spot?
He's got to build his game up a little first.
He was there before.
Yeah, they've tried it before.
So it's
but very spot duty. We haven't seen any of the big power play guys, except for Hyman, of course, to start the season, miss extended periods of time. So listen, I'm just throwing some. Yeah, I'm spitballing.
When's the last time that I can't remember the last time? And I'm not saying that Savoy and Roslovic are incredible one-time shot shooters. Roslovic's probably better than Savoy, but there's never been in the typical where Leon is where he normally is and Nuge is on the other side. There hasn't been a right shot over there.
I just think they complement the big two a little bit better, and McDavid and Bouchard. And for Wallman, honestly, I think he's closer to the press box than PP1 right now.
Wow, harsh words for Kevin's favorite player. But Schlemmer, have you seen how jacked he is?
Hey, I loved Wallman's game last year.
Come on, Duke.
When he hasn't been anywhere near what it was.
He was last year. He was unreal. Think about it. Last year, everyone was going, "How could Steve Yzerman make this trade?"
Well, nobody batted an eye when we decided to pay him $7 million a year.
Yeah,
wrong.
No. Well, not many, right? There wasn't a big stink about that because he earned that contract last year, and the way he played, he has not followed it up.
No, he has not. But that's okay. We don't always have to agree. Half dozen games tonight, 4 with playoff implications, and 1 between the league's top 2 teams. Colorado taking on Dallas, and what is certainly the marquee game of the evening. Dallas chasing them down for that top spot in the division, in the conference, in the NHL. I think Colorado needs this win more than Dallas does right now.
Finally, Duke, we're on a yay.
Yeah, I'm in on this one. I mean, it's tough being in Colorado's position. They had such a hot start, and you got teams chasing you the entire year. It's either, you're expected to finish in that top spot. Dallas has been hot, man. They definitely don't need a win right now. So I'll be in on this one, Duke.
Yeah. Don't you think, especially after Pittsburgh goes in there and wallops them 7-2?
Yeah.
This is a big response game.
100%.
I think when the Oilers went into Colorado, they were 4-4-2 in their last 10 home games, if I'm correct. So they've obviously lost a couple more on that. So their home record is unreal because they never lost at home forever. It's still 23-6-4.
All right. But this isn't the time that you want to be taking a step back, right?
And if Dallas wins, they're 1 point back. And again, the whole number 2, whole 2 and 3 in this Central stinks if you're in that position.
How about Gully, eh?
Yeah.
Making it happen.
Looks good too. That brill cream going out here.
Got some nice flow going.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Dallas loses this game, I'm still pretty heady on the fact that they can catch them. Whereas Colorado, they got this team creeping closer and closer in their side mirror coming up behind them in the standings, and you're thinking, oof, we have not been playing a very good brand of hockey as of late, losing. I mean, they get blown out by Pittsburgh the other night. You kind of stop and say, we need to right the ship here, and what better opportunity to do so than against a divisional opponent, one that has been chasing you all year long, and give yourself, even if it is just 2 more points of breathing room to avoid that, as you said, Kevin, daunting first-round matchup that is likely to be Minnesota. Yeah, the Avs, they're bleeding a little bit right now, and I think they got to get some salt on that wound and close it up. So the World Baseball Classic came to a close last night. Venezuela defeated the United States 3-2 for their first tournament win in the country's history. Aaron Judge in elimination games at this tournament. 2 for 11, 6 Ks, 0 RBIs. That doesn't even mention his numbers in the MLB playoff picture, where they are also not very flattering. This goes back a little bit to, from a local perspective, coming out of the Olympics, and some people were all over Connor McDavid about, can he win the big one, and does he show up in the biggest moments? Most of us, I think all of us with a brain, laughed that off because his numbers in playoffs and for the most part reflect that. Aaron Judge, I'm on the other side. I think he is fully deserving of the criticism he takes for not showing up in the big moments in big games.
Oh, it pains me to say, Duke, but yeah. his batting average in the postseason and Major League Baseball.
205.
Yeah. I thought it was the Mendoza. Well, that's the Mendoza line for him. 200 and some. I mean, the 3Ks last night. Man. I mean, he had some big time defensive plays at the World Baseball Classic, but needed more from him last night. And
you watched the game?
I watched it kind of with that condensed game or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Just because by the time I got home, it was over.
Right. Yeah.
So, it pains me to say, but I'm in on this one. Here, go ahead, Sean.
It doesn't pain me to say.
Yeah, I know it does. Yeah. So here's the guy's the best. He's the MVP. He's the best hitter in fantasy baseball. Duke, if you take Ohtani out of the mix, he's the number one player in fantasy.
Sure.
So the guys in our draft, and Judge is a free agent this year. So the guys were on the text line. I think Judge could fall from the number one pick here. And, the guy that was picking second was trying to get the number, the first guy to go, bad WBC, just, to get in his head. It ain't happening. But,
I mean, numbers don't lie, right? Got to deliver in the big moments. You want to be a star, you got to get her done.
And then you add on, so he was the captain of this team, gave the most uninspiring speech you've ever seen before the tournament started. And that's fine. Like, that's not everybody's bread and butter, right? To be the raw leader and things, but it gets filmed, it gets out on social media. It's a tough look for the team. You see how the United States played through this tournament where the own manager seemed to not know the rules, and then it's player utilization. It all kind of culminates on this guy's shoulder because he is the best hitter in the world, or one of the very best, if not. And then when rubber hits the road, he doesn't perform, right? And it's tough because you're talking about 3-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, the home run chase, all these things. I despise the Yankees as much as any Blue Jays fan ever could. But even still, you do kind of feel a little bit for a guy that does have everything going for him and is so good. But, man, just gripping the bat a little bit too tight. I don't know. It's disappointing to say the least.
Schwarber wasn't very good, obviously, last night.
Take your pick of who wasn't good for the United States. And then the cherry on it all, at one point during this, I can't remember when exactly, but Judge said this is bigger than the World Series, where he has now never won either. So hard to say how he knows that.
But like as a baseball guy here, KK, like is there something that you see in Judge's at bats? Like, is he chasing bad pitches? Is he doing something different?
So again, like Erod, the guy that pitched, started the game for the Venezuelan team. This guy was like last year. He was almost like it was like, okay, we can't wait for this guy to pitch. His ERA is over 5, his WHIP's over 150. He couldn't barely get any outs in Arizona. He went from Detroit to Arizona, made a pile of money. I think it was an $80 million contract. I think what happens is you start getting behind and everyone presses and presses and presses. You're such a favorite and you're such a team that is supposed to pound the snot out of everyone. I don't know. And I'll two things. And I don't think they give their opposition as much respect as what they deserve. And all the games, like they lost to Italy because Italy wanted it more. They had more passion. Venezuela, and even Dominican, these teams, they're a team.
Yeah.
The Americans are just a bunch of individuals.
They're an all-star team.
So, and once you start trying to hit the big one, and yes, hey, Wilmer Abreu had a home run last night too, but they string some hits together. It's more about, okay, if we can get a walk or something and then maybe move the runner over.
Small ball.
The Americans are just,
every guy goes up there wanting to hit the solo home run to be a hero.
And I mean, you can look at No-Cal Rally. Duke didn't play again.
Well, I don't think he had a single hit in the tournament.
Yeah. Will Smith was no screaming hell either, was he?
No.
So I understand all that. Gunnar Henderson was another one. Like they went with Bregman over Henderson. And talk about that. Even in center field, Pete Crow Armstrong he's a better player on a team concept than Buxton is. So there's a lot of things to bust down there. But Judge's full marks, Duke, to your question.
Oh, thank you, Kev. Wow.
Full marks, 100%.
Listen, every day, 5 questions. Yesterday, all 5 questions were great, and we had 3 minutes to get through them all. So total waste of a good slate there. But all the same, the weather is turning, Kevin, despite what your Environment Canada app may tell you. It's not going to be 17 degrees today, but we are expecting some rain as the week progresses. It's National Umbrella Month to go hand in hand with that. Straight up, I will take getting a little bit more wet wearing just a good raincoat than deal with the inconvenience of packing around an umbrella all the time.
I'm 100% in on this one, Duke. I don't think I've hardly ever used an umbrella.
I'm not sure I've ever used one in my entire life.
Just use a hood.
That's like how much are you outside?
Like maybe a golf umbrella. Trying to like stay dry before you hit your shot or something. But
Yeah.
I'm not walking around with an umbrella.
But if it's raining that much, why are you out there? And that's coming from me, somebody who I have no problem playing in the rain. But if it's raining that much that you're like, oh, I need to stay that much more dry to have an umbrella, well, just head to the clubhouse and wait for it to let up or call it a day.
Agreed.
Duke, I picture you as technically Teddy Padillac, Duke. That's what I picture you.
I know who that is.
Yeah. Teddy Padillac. You don't?
No.
Teddy Padillac? Come on, Duke from Seinfeld, the best umbrella twirler going. That's where, that's where
Oh,
Teddy
wow,
Padillac.
Duke missed the Seinfeld.
That's a pretty good poll, Kev.
There you go, Duke. Yeah.
I wonder if he
Street
looked
salesman.
That's what he was looking
Teddy
up
Padillac.
during the commercial break when he wasn't
No,
talking to
no.
us. He's looking up this very niche reference.
I don't know anyone that has an umbrella. Like, I guess do you have one on your golf bag?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Never use it.
Never used
It's there for decoration.
Do you have one on your golf bag, Duke?
No.
Because, well, you're okay.
It blew away when I left my golf bag out on the patio.
You know what? Because how often do you walk, Duke, golfing?
Very rarely.
So we're walking, me and Murray, pretty well every Sunday at the ranch. We should have an umbrella.
I walk a lot now. Let's say I got the motorized.
You got the okay.
That's
not
unreal.
walking.
Yeah, it is. It's just like having a caddy.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kev does have a caddy. That's how.
No.
That's the type of guy he is.
Yeah,
he pays
I
some.
got the pusher, the puller. Murray still carries.
Oh, that's
stupid.
That's just.
I don't
unnecessary.
understand why.
Why put yourself through it? Why put yourself
the
through
thing
it?
is that his bag is like it's got like the clubs and that's it, and one ball.
Still,
it's light. But anyway, yeah, Duke, I'm with you here. I don't know. National Umbrella Month.
Like you just wear a raincoat. You don't need like a big poncho. Just a water resistant coat. You put the hood up on your head.
Well, how about if it was hailing like it was on my drive in this morning? Then maybe you could use an umbrella.
Well, then you just get holes in it.
Yeah, maybe.
Punch holes through your umbrella if it's real hail, I suppose.
I guess
it's like a wintry mix.
As Walt says, if we lived in Vancouver, you'd have an umbrella. We'd probably be talking about this differently.
True.
So when you have an umbrella, though, and I say this as somebody I'm once again never used one in my life. What do you do with it when you go places? You're just carrying it all the time.
Yeah.
Like gone are the days where each time you come into a place, there's the pot in the corner that you just deposit and then someone steals your umbrella.
I think some older gentlemen use it not as a walking stick, but they, what
Kinda
I'm
like
saying?
a cane.
A little bit.
Yeah. That's what I was picturing too.
Teddy Padillac, Duke.
Teddy Padillac, the best umbrella twirler.
Best umbrella twirler. Good stuff. Good stuff. When we come back, we'll have some open time and we'll get to Emma Lingan from the Hockey News and the Wraparound podcast. Duke says she's a ball person too. I did not know that. I thought it was, what's that? Oh, I didn't.
You did know that. When we've had her on before, you've talked about the major leagues.
Well, Duke, listen.
Your memory. I'm worried about you, Kev.
Just reply to Shane. He wants to know what the email is for the March Madness prep. We'll also get to some of your texts. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunications, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Half of the games in the NHL tonight. Starting with the Battle of the Hudson. Rangers taking on the Devils from MSG. Penguins are in Carolina. Senators going up against the Capitals from Washington. Battle of the league's top two teams with Dallas and Colorado. Blues play the Flames down the highway, and the Nightcap has the Flyers in SoCal against the Ducks. Pair of games in the PWHL. Minnesota hosting Ottawa, New York in Vancouver. And in the association, Raptors back at it tonight, part of a full slate tonight. They're in Chicago for a 6 o'clock tip-off against the Bulls. Elsewhere, Boston hosting Golden State. Clippers are in New Orleans. And Houston playing LA at 7:30. First four, continuing in the men's March Madness bracket with Prairie View A&M taking on Lehigh, and 31-1 Miami of Ohio plays SMU. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we're joined by Emma Lingan from the Hockey News Wraparound Podcast. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
The Price is Right, live at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Some conditions apply. See in-store for details.
Legacy Heating and Cooling sucks. Yeah, Legacy can now suck your ducts with professional duct cleaning, furnace cleaning, and dryer vent cleaning.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
When you need the filth sucked from your air ducts.
Call Legacy.
When you want cleaner air for your family.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Legacy now offers air duct cleaning. Book in today. Just call Legacy.
It's Andrew Walker, host of the Postgame Show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
What's some non-Nissan drivers here?
Soul-crushing flurries today with a low of making you cry.
What Nissan drivers here?
It's looking absolutely perfect out there.
Don't fear the forecast. Get an all-wheel drive Nissan Rogue and get up to $4,500 cash purchase bonus on select new 2026 Rogue models. Built, tested, and trusted to conquer Canada's harsh winters. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or nissan.ca for details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 10-11 in Edmonton. Welcome back to the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlimco, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, presented by Sports Select. If you prefer the paper selection slips, we got you covered too. Instead of the QR codes, either way works. Check it out at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Text rolling in 833-401-1440. Michelle says, I was the same way about umbrellas until I moved to Vancouver. Then an umbrella is like a water bottle with you at all times. Walt says they make ridiculously compact ones now. Those small little fold-up ones.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's another one.
I mean, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
You live on the coast. You probably need one. A lot more.
Yeah. Jay in Victoria, our pal out there, he says, umbrellas, I've never seen so many as I have out here. It does rain almost all winter, though. Fair, too. JR and Ritter, you guys have never lived in a wet climate. I don't think I have.
I don't think I have either, really.
Text 833-401-1440. Coming up at 10:20, we're going to switch gears and talk a little hockey across the league with Emma Lingan from the Hockey News and the Wraparound podcast. Also some baseball as well. We'll see. We'll get her take on the World Baseball Classic. Last night, I know you do your little notes here, Schlemmer. Anything else did we not get to regarding the game? We talked about, and I was chastised and told I don't know squat from Noel. Was it Noel? Noel Rinsky, because we talked about the third goal from the Oilers last night.
Third goal against.
Oh,
the one where Nurse is walking down the wall. Off the
yeah, and I said, so, I mean, and you, what did you write down?
These are my notes on the third goal against. Nice apple by Nurse. And then Murph's got to realize that that's his partner that walked down the wall. You can't really sell out on that puck. But for me, a lot of it's on Nurse there. Even if the shot might have got deflected off a stick. So I guess maybe I'll take that back a little. It's on both of them.
Listen, I think Conor Murphy will say, I either got to back off a little bit or I just got to stop the puck. And I said to you, I think sometimes, and Henrique's right behind him, that's sort of a weird feeling, a guy right behind you. And I think Duke maybe mentioned, or Josh Fenwick, or maybe you did too in the commercial break, that, he could have tripped turning around on Henrique's skates. Murphy.
Yeah.
Then it would have really looked bad. But again, see, for me, like, I'm not saying it's, and anyway, this Noel guy was texting and saying this is not on Nurse at all. He's saying it's 100% not on Nurse. I think there's blame there.
I think there is too. I mean, you have the whole play in front of you when you get that puck right off the faceoff. You can see that you're a man down right away. Yeah. Like, you see the stick, you see your guy going to the bench. That's the last place you can put the puck.
So just, go in the corner. And I said, you're going to start a cycle here probably pretty quick with the guys that are on the ice, especially Darnell down low. He's big enough to eat it and start some sort of a thing and wait for help when Henrique gets back into the play. So,
and the only thing I'm thinking with Murph now is, does he think he's got support behind him now? Is that why he's
on the other side? So he's thinking
for the puck there.
Well, but okay. So the other thing that this Noel guy's texting in, well, Nugent Hopkins went to the net. Well, but Carlson's all over him in front of the net. Sorry, Klingberg. He was all over him in front of the net.
Nuge going. Well, I'm confused.
So yeah, like off the draw, I believe it was Nuge.
So why wouldn't he go to the net?
Well, he was saying he was on. That's why Darnell's throwing it to the net.
Oh, because okay, sure.
But still, again, for me, the identification is there that we just lost a guy. He's got to go get a stick. I got to buy some time. I got to burn some time.
I'm down low in the corner. Yeah. We got a guy without a stick here. So like whatever I do with this puck, I cannot feed their transition. Right.
Yeah. I just got to make sure that was, it was Nuge, Duke. Yeah. So just off the draw, and that's the way she goes. Anything else in your notes there, Slammer? This is like, you got some.
I got notes off of every goal.
This is weird. This is weird because on Mondays and Fridays, Eddie Steele's got his big notebook out.
First goal against. I actually thought. I know everyone's going to say this is on Dickinson. He can't turn the puck over there right at the red line. But if he makes the play, it's 2-on-1, right? I think that Stastny can't join there when Wallman's already in the play.
I got to go the other way on that. See, to me, I look at Dickinson going 99 times out of 100. This guy's just gone, and he's tired. He's just saying, okay, I'm just advancing the puck and changing. He's done that in Chicago a million times. And I think, as I said, since he's been here, he looks at all these guys making great plays, and you get romanticized by the level of creativity and how cool it is to watch Leon and watch Connor and watch all these guys cycle. And then all of a sudden there's an open guy bang. And to me, that one there at that point, just because of the length of shift and where he's at. And again, the recognition, I think it's just get it forward and get off.
Yeah, sure. That's fair. I mean, she just got to make a play there, right? You got to put it through one guy, and it's a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1. But for me, if I'm Stastny and I'm coming up the middle there, and I can see Wallman's already up there, I'm thinking, what happens if this puck gets turned over? And you see it. And you got Nuge back there playing a 2-on-1.
Nuge is by himself. So, when we come back, we'll check in with Emma Lingan from the Hockey News and the Wraparound podcast on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlimco. And David Schlimco is powered by Cougar Paint and Collision. Our family helping your family for over 40 years. Part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program. CougarCollision.com. Check them out. Emma Lingan when we come back on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne. And Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch, presented by Sports Select.
Whether you need bodywork, paint touch-ups, or anything in between, the family at Cougar Paint and Collision takes every customer issue to heart.
We've had a lot of really good customers over the years. One guy, he would bring in everything and he would just expect us to be able to kind of fix it. It didn't matter what it was. And one time he brought in his washing machine.
The only thing that was wrong with it was the drum was rusted out or something.
Yeah, he wasn't going to replace it.
Yeah, we had to weld it up. Anyways, he was a nice old guy. Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the VLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident. More than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:21 in Edmonton, and time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages are here, and we've got a great selection, too. So many colors to choose from. $49.9 gets you behind the wheel. Brand new Jeep Gladiators for under $50K. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome back Emma Lingan from the Hockey News, also the Wraparound podcast. Good morning, Emma. You're with Kevin Karius once again. And the former NHLer, David Schlimco. Thanks, as always, for jumping on Sports 1440. Really appreciate it.
Good morning. Of course. Thanks for having me.
Hey, before we get to the big Preds win last night, because you're based out of Nashville, what's the reaction down there with Venezuela beating the Americans in the World Baseball Classic, Emma?
That was quite a game. If you have the opportunity to watch it, really the whole tournament, I think little shell shock here. I think with USA not taking home the gold, of course, but you just see what it means to a country like Venezuela. How that the entire country was just so invested in that tournament and the outcome. So you love to see it for them.
How much talk was there, as you said, the emotion, passion? Not just Venezuela, so many of the other countries that they showed compared to what the American players showed. How much play is that getting?
Quite a bit, I think. I think a lot of it has to do with just, of course, the national pride and the United States is such a big country. And yes, baseball is America's pastime, but it's still not even the most popular sport in America. And I think that, you're seeing a little bit of the timing of it with it being right in the middle of spring training, how that was messing with certain guys' schedules and ramp ups for the MLB regular season getting started. So I think it's, different priorities kind of taking over for a lot of the Americans as well. Not necessarily a good or a bad thing, but I do think that, you see a little bit of more what it means just not only to win for these countries like Venezuela, but to beat the United States, to beat a big superpower like that is just really special.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump back to the Predators. Huge win for them over Winnipeg last night. Now 2 points out of a playoff spot. Really polarizing team for me. I mean, as much as everyone has ragged on this group all year, they're right there knocking on the door and pretty good veteran core. Not a team that I'd want to meet in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, this team, it's they're a little annoying, honestly, because it's just when you got to the point where you think you can count them out. All right, it's a rebuilding year. Barry Trotz is retiring after this year, and we're going to sell at the deadline, and let's just punt to next year and focus on the rebuild here. Just when you start to think that that's the route that they're going to take, they start winning, and they start pulling together these scrappy wins, like the one you mentioned in Winnipeg. They had a big win over Seattle earlier in the week as well. So they are still very much in that playoff picture. And I think that, you mentioned the veterans, guys like Ryan O'Reilly, Steven Stamkos, and Jonathan Marchessault. Those are guys who, if they are within sniffing distance of a playoff spot, they're not going to rest until they get it. And so I think that even if the organization might be looking more towards the future, these guys on the ice right now very much still want to win. I mean, you can't knock their work ethic, their drive to play winning, meaningful hockey. And I think that that's really good right now. Even if they don't end up making the playoffs, you have all of these young players who they've brought up in the wake of this sell-off, guys like Reed Schaefer and Matt Wood and Ozzy Weisblatt and Fedor Svechkov. And you want those guys playing meaningful hockey games and getting that experience. And so I think it's kind of a best case scenario for them right now.
Now, with all this recent success and winning, do you think that changes anything for the future plan, or are they going to stick with more of a rebuild moving forward?
It's really hard to say. I think that all hinges on who the new GM is going to be and what route they want to take this. I think that, Barry Trotz a couple years ago was maybe, and he certainly wasn't the only one, maybe fooled into thinking that this team was a little bit closer to contention than they actually were. So he went out and made those win now additions and obviously did not work. Instead of adding supplementary pieces to the core pieces they already had, he kind of went out and added more center pieces, guys like Stamkos and Marchessault, who, again, that ended up not being the right strategy. So I would hope that if Barry Trotz was still going to be in the GM's chair, that he would have learned from that experience, not allowed this late season push to kind of sway his thinking, and would still be going more towards a rebuild. However, now, you have the ownership, primary owner, and Bill Haslam, and he's now got to go find this new GM. And it appears that Haslam is open to continuing down the rebuild path, but I think that whoever the new GM is going to definitely play a big role in that.
Emma Lingan from the Hockey News and the Wraparound Podcast, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlimco here on Sports 1440 AM radio. Hey, you mentioned Ozzy Weisblatt, Emma. A lot of Oiler fans are hoping to buy this guy a beer after what happened here on Sunday. Can you help facilitate that?
Yeah, I immediately thought, oh no, oh Ozzy. Now I'll tell you what though, I think that he could take it. He could take it if whatever you want to dish his way, he could certainly take it. But I do think it's perfectly poetic, perfectly fitting though that he still that Draisaitl still scored on the Predators in that game, because that's just a given. That has to happen. So even before he got injured, he managed to get a goal in there. But yeah, brutal news for the Oilers and for their playoff chances too.
Yeah, I think that was the 28th goal in his last 20 games against the Predators. Not too bad.
Pretty hot.
Yeah. Hey, you also mentioned Reed Schaefer here, and that was the local product in the Matthias Ekholm trade. What have you seen from him? Starting to be, like an NHL regular here.
I really like what I've seen from Reed Schaefer. I think we in Nashville, in the Nashville media, it had kind of become a running joke where every time Barry Trotz, every time he would give a press conference and talk about the young players in the pipeline, he would always mention Reed Schaefer. It's like, oh, we got Reed Schaefer coming. And we would kind of say, all right, well, stop talking about him unless you're actually going to call him up, because we're tired of hearing about him. We want to see what he can do. And I think that, from the moment he arrived, the moment hasn't looked too big for him. He's been very physical. He's been using his size. He hasn't really looked like a rookie out there. I think that he has been very comfortable, using his size, using his physicality, but he's been smart about it. He's making smart plays, knowing where guys are on the ice. And, I think that he has fortunately proven very right in that, this is a guy that we should be excited about.
Yeah, good young player.
Yeah.
Let's move out east for a minute. Lots to be excited about in Montreal. Cole Caulfield, first to score 40 since Dan Foose did it in the 90s.
I just wrote that down, Schlemmer. Wow,
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Anyways, as good as things are, it's tight. It is tight in the East. There's no guarantee to make the playoffs. I guess how important is it for them, at this point in their rebuild that they do get into the playoffs?
Well, when it comes to Montreal, I think I don't think I'm alone in this in saying that, the main focus that I look at is the goaltending situation. I do still worry a little bit about the goaltending situation there. But, overall, I think that for this organization, you have to look at, last year, proving that last year was not a fluke, that you have to keep building on that. You have to keep building on what you did. I would honestly kind of put Ottawa in that same category, maybe not to the same extent.
Yeah.
It just feels like, I don't know, Montreal, they have so many good young pieces, but I worry about the goaltending, and I worry about their scoring depth, specifically down the middle. I think that that top line, that Suzuki line, is electric, and they're, one of the best in the league. But after that, it kind of falls off. And I think you had been looking at Kirby Dach to kind of fill a larger role than he has ended up having in Montreal. And a lot of the way that roster has been constructed is a lot of betting that everything will go right, or that everything will go well. And obviously that's not going to be a strategy that's going to bring you lots of success long term. But I do think that, they're a team that they need to stay hot. And I think they need to prove something after last year.
Emma Lingan with us from the Hockey News on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlimco on Sports 1440. is the biggest, the neatest, the greatest story in the East, Columbus Blue Jackets here, Emma, since Rick Bowness has come in here, and they were at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, pardon me. They're 1 point out of it after their win over Carolina last night. If they were to make the playoffs, how big of a impact, how big of a story would this be?
Well, I think it would be huge. I mean, they almost made it last year, and I thought that would have been huge. Of course, last year the whole overarching, the storyline with the tragedy of the Gaudreau family and everything that organization had been through, just would have been kind of a storybook ending to that. But I think that this year, what they've managed to do this whole season, I think Columbus is a perfect example of just the scheduling quirks of this entire season, and how, a lot of teams have had seasons that have been very lopsided because of the Olympic break. And it's almost like you had two separate trade deadlines. And with the condensed schedule, how much the momentum can shift for a team in such a short period of time. But I think that, like you mentioned, with Rick Bowness coming in, they start winning. And I think the concern was, well, after the Olympic break, how is that going to go? Are they going to lose all their momentum? And they really haven't. And I think that, it would be really remarkable. It would be great to see them make the playoffs. I think they've got, a perennial Norris candidate in Zach Werenski. I think they've got a really talented group, good young goaltender in Jet Greaves. So I think that, it would be nice to see them make some noise in the playoffs.
I wanted to get your opinion on hearing a lot about this, probably just because it's out of Toronto and Austin Matthews, but a lot of talk about the Gudas suspension being a little too lenient. You have any opinion on that?
I don't know. Why do I feel like this is a trap? I feel like anything with player safety, it's always like, oh no, we got to tread lightly here. But no, I do think that maybe a little bit lenient. I think an in-person hearing would have been the way to go, especially, when you lose a guy for the season in the fashion that it happens. I watched the hit. I saw the play, not in real time, but I watched it afterwards, and it does feel a little lenient to me. I'll refrain from commenting on anything with regard to Department of Player Safety or George Peros or anything like that. But I do think that, it probably could have stood to take another look. Now, that being said, I think the player and the market that it happened to certainly plays into this. I do question, if it was, I don't know, Ozzy Weisblatt, who got taken out for the season, would it be getting the same amount of attention? Probably not. But, I do think that when you have a platform like that in a market like Toronto and a player like Matthews, who has had a very recent history of injuries, especially, it could be worth taking a look at.
One last one for you, Emma, just regarding the Western Conference playoff race for that last wild card where Seattle occupies it. The Kings are right there. The Sharks are right there after Nashville's outcome in Winnipeg last night. The Predators are there, and the Jets are kind of in the conversation too still. How do you think things shake down here down the stretch?
I just think, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I think it would be so exciting because we have a scenario where you could have the Sharks, the Ducks, and the Kings all in the playoffs. And I think that would be exciting, at least for the state of California, if nothing else. But I think that, especially now with, sorry to bring it up again, but with Edmonton's chances here taking a hit with the loss of Draisaitl, I think that could really make things interesting down the stretch here. I really don't know. I would love to see San Jose make the playoffs. I think that they're a really fun, exciting young team. I don't know that they're going to make it far in the playoffs. That's okay. I don't think they have to this year, but I think that roster, could use sort of what I was talking about earlier, that meaningful hockey experience and playing in that playoff environment. I think would be really good for them. Would like to see it happen with Anaheim as well. I think that that's a young team that's a little further along in their rebuild. You'd like to see some kind of gaining some traction there. But, even then, it's a lot of that is hinging on how things go for them. Does everything pan out? I mean, a guy like Mason McTavish been struggling here lately. That's a guy you really need to be going on all cylinders if you're Anaheim and you want to make a playoff run. So I think it's going to be definitely very interesting down the stretch. I would love to see a scenario where both of those teams made it in.
Emma, as always, thanks so much for your time. Maybe one last quick one. Do you think it's at all getting close to where Nashville gets a Major League Baseball franchise because it's such a great baseball town? How many years do you think it's possible? What are we looking at here?
All I will say is that I moved to Nashville about 4 years ago. And even when I moved here, people were saying, oh, anytime now, it's going to happen anytime now. It could be right away. We're going to get a baseball team. And it's been 4 years and that still hasn't happened. So I think there's definitely a desire. I think Nashville, it's an entertainment town. They love anything that's going to, bring more eyes and more people to the city. I'm not sure exactly where they would play. That would be my biggest question. The Tennessee Titans are opening their new stadium in East Nashville on the other side of the river here. So I'm not quite sure where the real estate would be for a major league stadium, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if it does end up happening because they've been wanting it for a long time.
Wow. Good stuff. Thanks, Emma. As always, really appreciate it. Enjoy the stretch run of the NHL and then the playoffs. I'm sure we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Thank you.
Emma Lingan from the Hockey News and the Wraparound Podcast. Our game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where again, the Jeep Gladiator Sport packages are here. Great selection. Under 50 grand. StAlbertDodge.com. I'm trying to picture, you've been to Nashville lots, obviously. So, when you walk along that bridge and then you see where the football stadium is.
Yep.
So she's saying it's on the other side of the river, the new stadium. I'm trying to picture exactly where, because when you go down and you're at Bridgestone, Broadway's 2 blocks away?
Yeah.
Ballpark?
Just down the street.
Yeah. So I'm trying to picture where this new football stadium is, but.
Yeah, it's hard for me to picture.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. But did you ever?
It doesn't feel like a big city either.
No. Again, did you guys always stay at what hotel is that one that's really close by the rink?
There's one right across the street.
Yeah,
there.
and I think most of the teams stayed there.
Yeah.
And then if you looked out your window, you could see, it wasn't far from the Grand Ole Opry and all the Country Music Hall of Fame and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. So it's all right there.
Oh, yeah. Nashville's great, huh?
That's a fun city.
Yeah. A lot of fun. Tootsie's, you've been in there, huh?
Yeah, I've played guilty a couple times in Nashville.
I always like Tootsie's because when you walk in the door, and I think it's changed a little bit now. I haven't been in there for several years, but it was hopping in there and it would be packed.
It's tight in there.
But where the band would be playing on the stage, let's pretend you were a guitar player with the axe part in your left hand. So that would overhang the door sometimes. You know what I mean? So if you walk through the door and that guy would swing it around, you might take one in the noggin.
Yeah.
And then the first thing you try to do is get out and top of the roof there in that rooftop patio.
Rooftop patio. Yeah. Yeah. Tootsie's is classic. I like the stage too. A little more room in there.
A little more room in there and pressure.
Yeah. That's a nice way to put it.
If you go into Tootsie's and you pony up to the bar there and you look around and there's that place is a fire hazard. There's newspapers on the wall that are glued on the wall from the 50s and 40s, man.
Quite the spot.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. It's a Kevin Carey Show with David Schlimco, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. Sponsored by Sports Select, brought to you by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat,
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
if you need it immediately with no overtime rates, if you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC,
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the Postgame Show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Got that feeling? The one that makes you want to roll the windows down and just drive? A puddle! That's not just spring fever. That's a sign that it's time to visit Nisku Ford. They've got the cure for your driving fever with their biggest offers of the year. Get rebates as high as $12,000 on select new models, or drive away with 0% interest. Don't just dream about the open road. Own it. Find your cure for spring fever at niskuford.ca. Above expectations.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the center bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Your game, your station. Sports 1440.
And watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:45 in Edmonton. Home stretch of the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlimco, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick here on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. The Duke has the World Women's Curling Championship on in the studios here. Canada's leading Turkey 7-3 in the sixth end. The Canadians lost to the Swiss 6-5 yesterday in 11 ends. So the win over Turkey today would bring them to 6-1, I believe, Duke. Duke's a big women's curling fan. More so than the men's. Way more than men's curling. He watches the women's curling probably as often as he can.
Like those high-pitched screams, eh?
It's exactly what he likes.
I like the drama. I like all curling. I mean,
drama?
I don't know if there's much drama. It's sport, Kevin. There's drama in sport. Like if you were watching the conclusion of the Canadian-Italy game last night, Anderson had a shot to get 3 with their last and 10.
Italy or was it
Switzerland? Excuse me. They played Italy yesterday morning.
Okay.
Ended up just with the deuce, so they tried to steal the win in 11. She made as good of a shot as she could, and then the Swiss skip literally covered the pin. It was a brilliant shot and got the victory to hand Canada their first loss of the event. So listen, I just like sports. Call me crazy.
No.
Call me out there.
I
a
just
little
thought you
different.
watched, if Emma Miskew's not here, you're not totally enthralled.
Well, that just shows how little you know, because I'm not infatuated with individual athletes or teams. I'm here for the event, for the sport.
If you were
sports guy,
all around sports guy, guilty.
If you somehow, Duke, improved your curling 1,000%. Okay.
Seems like a lot.
1,000%. And
well, how do you know, Kevin? I'm heading to curling this weekend, and in the same event in back-to-back years, I've improved from C final champion to B final champion. We're going for it all this year. We're going for the A.
Oh, baby.
So my question would be, and you improved 1,000% and went into mixed curling.
Like mixed doubles?
Yeah, mixed doubles.
Mixed doubles is hard.
Okay, mixed doubles. And you got to be that good.
Okay.
And someone said, Duke, your partner's going to be blank X. Is it automatic that it's Emma Miskew?
Well, has she played mixed doubles before? Maybe with my inexperience, I'd be better suited to play someone with experience in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Law's been to the Olympics in that before. Alberto's own Laura Walker. And her hubby Jeff, who's now teaming up with Brendan Botcher in a new team for next season following Gushu's retirement. So there's lots of great options. I mean, like you said, I'd have to improve 1,000% to even be in maybe 10,000% to get the option, and then I would just be happy to get any seasoned pro like that to be my partner.
A lot of texts, 833-401-1440. Several from Patty, MMH, Tub Guy, about the new stadium in Nashville, saying it's on the lot of this current NFL stadium. Patty says the hotel in Nashville is the Omni also. Now, I thought Emma, she said that the stadium was on a different property, but she said across on the east side of the river. Maybe I'm got my directions mixed up here, but I don't know.
I'm not sure. She said on the east side of Nashville, but I don't know if that's a new location or the same as the old one.
Yeah, Tub Guy says, boys, if you look towards the river down Broadway, it's right there. But I'm not saying we're talking about the new stadium in the locale. I don't know. 833-401-1440. The G-Man texts in because you brought up the Montreal Canadiens with Emma. What's going on with Patrick Laine? Is he hurt? Is he disgruntled? Well, he's hurt. He had surgery on his core several months ago.
It's just not fitting in there.
I don't. Well, first of all, I don't think they have even room for him. Like if he were to be helped
for his salary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even know what Montreal's got left here. I could quickly check. Yeah, they don't have any cap space, and he's obviously a UFA next year. Would he be a fit? Like, think about him if you got him and said, "Okay, listen, Patrick, you've made a lot of dough here over." You've signed, you've played in the league since 9 years now, but you've been hurt. What about something league minimum? Would he ever look at that? Would he maybe go back to Finland? What a guy like, this is a guy that can score goals, man, but
he can score goals.
He's missing a lot of his game. Don't have to tell you that.
Yeah. He's a little bit of a polarizing kind of player, right? He's very natural talent, can put the puck in the net. Does he leave a little bit to be desired in the rest of his game? 100%.
Yeah. Would he, like he says he loves Montreal, and you can see
a lot of the Euro guys do.
Well, why wouldn't you? But you can see the team trending upwards. I don't know what his relationship is with Marty St. Louis. No clue. Because think about like Marty St. Louis is fair, tough,
competitive. I don't see those two seeing eye to eye for some reason.
Like, a guy that everyone loves around here because he's from here, Brendan Gallagher. So he just played his 900th game last night, but Marty sat him earlier. He sat him, and now he got his attention.
Right.
Yeah,
I can't see Marty loving his game away from the puck.
Patrick Laine. But like, if you were to say, okay, and you look at Montreal where they've got a lot of great young guys, their core with Suzuki and Caulfield, those two in particular, they're under $8 million all the way through into the next decade. You're not going to get better contracts than that right now with the cap going up, and they still got Dobson, and then what Hudson's going to clicker in next year and be near $9 million. So maybe you say, Patrick, you want to stay here? Here's $1 million. We'll figure out if you want to do some bonuses.
You want to be a part of it or not, right?
Yeah. Or else,
I think that's a great call.
Yeah.
I do think someone's going to pay him more than that, but if he likes Montreal that much, maybe that's something he goes for.
Yeah. Rockford Texan Doc is out again. Kirby Doc's out 2 to 4 weeks. Another local. Both Doc brothers getting it, eh?
This guy's so unlucky.
Yeah. Can line he's not in. Well, no Rockford, because the money at 8-7, just doesn't work. Duke says, Tiger, please tell me what it's like being the 5th on a curling team.
Wouldn't know.
Greg, the Rider fan, says the new stadium in Nashville is right beside the old one on the east side. So,
all right, I guess we put that one to bed.
Yeah.
I know we were all waiting with bated breath to get the final rendering.
Where is the stadium going to be? It's funny that bridge in Nashville. Which one I'm talking about? Doesn't it remind you of the Walterdale Bridge here?
A little bit.
The new one,
yeah,
with the whiteness and the top of everything like that. What do you think tomorrow's game, Oilers and Panthers, is going to look like?
I think it's going to be a little bit of a letdown for any fans that are expecting a bunch of fireworks and stuff to carry over from the last couple of years. I think Florida's a team that's pretty beat up and kind of out of it. I mean, maybe they got a little something left in the tank for the Oilers, but I think more importantly, it's an important game for the Oilers to just keep going, take another step like they have with Leon out of the lineup, especially up front, try and play the same way.
Well, Brad Marchand's on LTIR now. Seth Jones came back. They lost last night in Vancouver 5-2. What if the Panthers were, in a playoff spot? Would that change?
Yeah, I think it would.
Yeah,
definitely. Then these are two teams that might see each other again the past couple of years.
There you go. And the other, like we've asked several guys this morning, and they said, well, this could be the only game that the Panthers care about for the rest of the year. There's still a little bit of pride.
That's a fair point. And that's why I said maybe they still got a little something left for the Oilers after the last couple of years and all those battles. But I mean, here's a team that's been to the final 3 years in a row, right? Especially, any of those guys have been here or been there for all 3 of those years. You're out of it now. You got to be looking pretty forward to that long summer.
Good stuff, Schlimmer. What's on the go this weekend?
Not much, buddy. No dance this weekend.
No
I think
dance.
it's like 6 out of the 8 or something. So I'm going to enjoy a nice weekend
why
here.
wouldn't you?
How about you?
I got to go to Saskatoon. So we've got our big baseball draft. So
all right,
drive there Friday.
Travel for that, eh?
Yeah, it's a big event. It's worldwide.
Good luck.
Thanks, Schlimmer. Good show. Have a great weekend.
You too.
That's David Schlimco, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision, every Wednesday from 9 to 11. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Russia T-Bird.
Connor Halley and the Duke of Delburne at 12 o'clock. It's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell, 2 till 6. Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. We've got Fox Sports all night. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 7 bells. I think the Duke is trying to work on Laddie overseas for a quick little hit. He won't respond to you, Duke. He always says, "Oh, give me a call." He won't respond. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Hey, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for the great texts and the interaction. Could not do it without you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 bells. Until then, here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Six-game slate in the NHL tonight, including the Battle of the Hudson with the Rangers hosting the Devils at MSG. Sidney Crosby set to make his return after an 11-game absence post-Olympics when they visit the Carolina Hurricanes. Senators in Washington. Stars take on the Avalanche in a battle of the league's top two teams. Blues are down the highway in Calgary, and the Flyers take on the Ducks in the evening's nightcap. Pair of games in the PWHL, Ottawa in Minnesota, Vancouver hosting New York in the association. Full docket of games, including the Raptors back at it. They're in Chicago against the Bulls for a 6 o'clock tip-off. Elsewhere, Boston hosting Golden State. OKC's in Brooklyn. Atlanta takes on the Mavericks, and Houston hosting LA for a 7:30 tip-off. Men's March Madness first four continue with a pair of games tonight, starting at 4:40 with Lehigh against Prairie View A&M, and Miami of Ohio, 31-1 on the season. They take on SMU. Earlier this morning, WNBA and its players union reached an agreement in principle. Transformational new CBA. Both sides needed to work out the details. Term sheet should be done in the next day or two. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. Seek